Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News.
There I go. There I go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here. The time is 6:34 a.m. on the East Coast. It is Friday, May 20th, and it just feels like this month has just went by. I remember us kicking this month off, me saying this is the first week of May. And now we are on the second to last Friday of the month. So good morning to you all. Thank you for being here so much. And again, I apologize for the Wi-Fi issues on my last live, the last morning show. I found out what happened, you all. And so anyone who has Xfinity, please listen to me. So what happened is if you have a black Xfinity box, there when you go to your Xfinity app to restart the modem and do all that good stuff, it will tell you that your modem needs to be updated. When you run to update it, it's going to tell you that your modem is outdated. You need a new modem. And they're sending you the new gray. They're all fancy dancy. They're sending them to you like that. They overnighted me a modem after I screamed them out on the phone like, well, why would y'all issue an update the current modem can't accept? So it speeds your internet up. It maintains high quality. As you can see, my internet is superb. I don't even have my XPod plugged in. So those who are with Xfinity and you've been having issues, reach out and get your updated modem. They're sending them for free, and I don't know, it's been perfect on my whole unit. So I apologize. I was wondering like, what the fuck? I got the max of the max and my Wi-Fi going crazy. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. No one cares. Thank you for being here. And I did get your message. Surely did. I was at dinner, and if you ever feel a need, I'm gonna get back to you. I exactly got your message, and I saw as well. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, and please make sure you hit the like on your way into the building, or and share the video. Subscribe if you are a new subscriber, and if you are joining in on the replay, let me just let you know I appreciate you catching this live. Please stay tuned. Naries, let's go. Let's start this show. Good morning. Hey, El Preston. Good morning to you. Good morning, good people. Sharika, good morning to you. Good morning. Sharika, Chicago. It's so funny. I had a female friend. Her name is Sharika, and she's from Chicago. So every time I see her name, I'm like, Sharika, Chicago. Wow, it just reminds me of Sharika. I loved her. come through clear screen. It's giving high. Listen, the Wi-Fi is on bleak. I was trying it yesterday. I said, baby, it made me want to go live. Is that B1? Good morning, B1. Good morning, AJ. Good morning, Nate. Hey, Cheryl. Good morning. Good morning, all the good people in here. Hey, Kings Mina. Hey, Britt Girl. Good morning to y'all. Good morning. Um, so again, I apologize. I had to get that updated. Thank you so much. So I hope everybody has a good productive Friday. I have a ton of stories if you saw in the description box. So we're going to be talking about politics, hot topics, and we're going to end on local news. I want to do something different on this Friday. I wanted to, instead of ending on a celebrity story, we'll end on some crazy local news. And so let's just get right into it. Hey, what's up, Slim Body Benz? Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Thank you all. And shout out to the members. I appreciate you all for holding me down each month. Thank you so much. It means so much to me because it helps me reach that threshold where my channel, because it's monetized, if I have enough videos on the channel and I get enough, replays, and with the including the members, it totals enough for me to, receive a check each month. And you all have been helping me out so much. And so this month, I reached my threshold like 3 days ago. I had a new member. And so I don't know if that threshold counted or if I don't know if it was a watch of a replay, but let me let you all know I appreciate it just watching the channel do its thing. So thank you all so much. It means a lot to me. It really does. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about today is this domestic terrorism bill. Now, it's so funny because we last left off Wednesday on local news talking about how the Buffalo Bill situation, we should have a hate crime bill specifically for African Americans. And, we explicitly was talking about how the Asian Americans have a bill that passed through Congress. So why isn't there one for African Americans? Blacks specifically. So this comes out. This comes to fruition. The domestic terrorism bill is passed by the House following the racist attack in Buffalo. Now, let me just be clear with you all. A similar bill like this made efforts to pass in the House before, but it failed at the Senate because, of course, once it reached that level where there's more eyes on it, they're going to tear it apart. And so, it's great that this bill has reached this far. So let's talk about what's in this bill and how it's allegedly supposed to be helpful for us. It specifically targets race crimes. So on Wednesday night, this domestic bill passed by the House. It marked an overwhelmingly party line. 203 Republicans voted against it. And this comes in the wake of the racist attack in Buffalo, which left 10 people dead. And so Congress is basically saying they can't stop folks like Tucker Carlson from spewing hateful, dangerous replacement theory ideology across the airwaves, but we'd be able to do something with this bill. So Congress hasn't been able to ban the sale of assault weapons. The Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act is what Congress can do this week to prevent future Buffalo shootings. So in short, what it would do is expand the availability of information on domestic terrorism, period. And also at the same time, it directly draw a connection between domestic terrorism and hate crimes. And so some folks are like, huh? What? That is so broad. And so some folks, like I said before, this bill, there was an effort back in 2020 to pass a bill of a similar nature. Unfortunately, as anything, a lot of red flags went up for a lot of Republicans and the bill failed to pass. And so this is supposed to, in a nutshell, it's supposed to bring information about hate crimes that investigators uncover and treat them the same way they treat federal terrorism crimes. Do I think this is enough? No, it's way too broad. It does not singly target, because for me, I think that there should be a mental health stipulation in there, because I see a lot of the racist acts that happens towards, these mass casualties, it falling on mental health. And if this bill isn't drawing some connection to mental health and hate crimes, then I don't think it has any effectiveness, especially towards people of color, blacks and Jewish folks who face these anti-Semitic, crimes. So I'm looking like, okay, so we'll see. First of all, we got to see if it's going to pass, because all chances are I don't think the bill is going to pass at all. So what do you all think? Do you think this is enough to even champion some of the issues we face and we see? Thank you. What's up? What's up? This bill sounds like a bunch of nothing. It exactly is a bunch of nothing. All it really is just lifting and raising hate crimes to a level of domestic terrorism, so that when the information becomes available, the same way they disseminate it for domestic terrorism is the same way they'll treat information during hate crimes, and the same way they go after those criminals and they'll treat them the same. Great, but what we're looking for is, what is the criteria? How are we identifying these individuals? And then what are the penalties that come thereafter? I mean, we need explicit penalties. I don't need we need to explicitly state hate crimes towards blacks, Latinos, all of these individuals. It really needs to be explicitly stated, because I feel like it leaves a lot of holes for people who have good attorneys to get through this shit. So for me, it was like, okay, I'll wait and see. If you already fell back in 2020, that was what, 2 years ago. What makes you think it's going to be any difference now? You think the Buffalo, the mass shooting at Buffalo was enough to? No. There's going to be more. God forbid, and no, I'm not asking for it, but we know it, there will be more. And so my thing is, what are you doing to attack that? I'm thinking about things like, if a mother and a father knows that their child, or knows that someone in their family may need a mental health evaluation, and they go and get that child or person a mental health evaluation, are we holding these clinics accountable to report that stuff to a law-abiding authority, so that that person becomes a red alert? Can we put that kind of bill language? And I'm not saying everyone, but people who specifically play with guns, or specifically act out in violence, who specifically were in 6th grade calling a black girl the N-word, and then going to have a psych evaluation because they said when they retired they wanted to commit suicide. Can we put them bitches on a list? Can we put in this bill that when those folks are identified, we put them on a sealed roster, all points bulletin? Hey, we have these folks going on, so that it raises the height, not only just for in that community, but every fucking where. That boy was stopped as a speeding ticket on his way twice back and forth from Buffalo. You mean to tell me there were no triggers in there to say, hey, there's something going on here? None of that. So I don't know. I think it needs to be a lot deeper than just comparing it with. It's not the same to me. Domestic terrorism can be born out of so many different things. We know exactly what race crimes look like. We know exactly what it's born out of. We know exactly what it feels like when it's employed. Domestic terrorism coming all facets and forms. So you treating folks like you would treat, it sounds good, but it's not enough. It doesn't take the same level of scrutiny, work, detail. No, I'm not for it. They magically find things wrong with bills towards black people, but everyone else can get a full out drawn bill. Exactly. Why is anti-black violence ignored, yet the Liberal Party is saying that cops are anti-black racists but won't do anything for race crimes against blacks? Nothing at all. Jews are a protected class along with the LGBT and Asians. Bills are in place for them. They don't want it to target certain people because that's the Republicans' core base. They need to pass. That's so true. That is so true. They need to pass the George Floyd Act and not a watered down version. That's so true. That's true. That is true. I would love to see a George Floyd Act. Nope, they are not going to go the race route. That sounds almost like holding Ken and Karen accountable for their shenanigans. I mean, and honestly, can we go there? Can we put in this bill that this also includes false reporting of an individual based solely on the color of their skin? Can we put that out there? Can we literally say that in a bill? Like, is that wrong? Because it is wrong, but is it too wrong to explicitly say that this has become it's not a federal crime anymore after being investigated? I think I think that you should raise that. I think there should be a Karen bill. A Karen clause. Buffalo is a Democratic state. These race guns are occurring in Democratic states more often than Republican states. And I'm telling you, because in upstate New York, where there are pockets of Republican and conservative communities there. Heavily. Every time, there's some type of shooting, a black police officer, a white police officer killing a black man or a black boy in upstate New York, it's always, you're going to see a protest, you're going to see a march, because that's just how the community feels there. Even my aunt back home, everything is about race for her. Everything is a race thing. And I'm like, I'm not going to say everything is a race thing, but she always goes back to say, be careful. So yeah, I agree. Same with Pennsylvania. The same with Pennsylvania. In Quebec, Canada, homicides committed by the police are not published for the public. We don't even have the right to know legally. Wow. I mean, wow. That's wow. Um, so I think we all pretty much feel the same about this domestic terrorism bill. I'll stay tuned to see if it passes in the House. The chances are very slim of this passing in the year of a midterm election, where if any Republican or anyone wrangles their base on a bill like this, challenges their base on a bill like this, it may hurt them in their upcoming midterm elections or anything that they may need to get done campaign wise. So I feel like we're going to watch this be stalled a little bit. And that's why I think it needs to be an explicit bill so that people can explicitly see who hops on and who doesn't. So I'll stay tuned. Now, the next thing is very, very interesting. So there's this new bill being introduced in the New York State called Rap Music on Trial. And it's a bill that limits the use of song lyrics as evidence in court. So Jay-Z, along with his attorneys and some other profound rappers, got together, including Fat Joe, including Meek Mill, got together to put a bill together that specifically states that you cannot use rap music in the court of law unless you can prove that what they were saying was true. And so he's saying that, we don't want to stop them from, certainly doing their jobs. However, if I'm a rap artist and I'm in my talent, in my profession and performing, and I say something, I can't be held accountable for entertainment and doing my job. That's like someone who, performs on stage and they do a motion with their gun, with their hand. That doesn't mean they're shooting the audience, or that's just a part of their act, their show. So he feels like artists should be held to the same sort of standard. And if they can find there's to be some truth in the lyrics, then that's a different story. And so I'm like, okay, I can get along with that. I think that that's a bill and it's timely because I do see a lot of artists facing something like this, across the board. So it must be passed by the state assembly. And so the passing of the bill is still is fresh and new, but they sent a letter to state lawmakers urging them to pass this bill and that Jay-Z stands behind this bill. So I think it's little things like this that helps the story, the narrative for our Black arts, our Black music, our Black voices. But on the other side, it makes sense that people begin to be careful about what they're saying in their music. Now that we see that they're holding everyone accountable. Shit, they had Young Thug. They was taking lyrics from Young Thug's like first couple albums, and I'm sitting there looking like, wow, I was a youngie listening to him. And I remember like what that was considered. Okay, not start arming up and stop waiting on the government that does not have your best interests. That is why Black Lives Matter failed. All of that money should have been used to push for law changes and hold the government responsible. Laws could have been changed, but no one cares about blacks. Not for you, about time, because they don't do it to death metal. No, they don't. You really are about Black Lives Matter. We're going to talk about Black Lives Matter next week. I'm going to get into the story about their $60 million assets. I tabled it. I didn't want to talk about it today, but I'm going to table it till Monday or Wednesday. But we'll talk about that because I have something to say about that too. Patrice colors and stuff like that. So I got you, B1. All right. So rap music on trial. I think it's a great initiative. I love how Jay-Z is throwing his name and his weight behind stuff like this. I think more artists and actors and Black talent should do more things like this. When they see a wrong out there, a specific and very targeted wrong, get some weight, do something, advocate, be an activist. You are at the front of the lines for some of us. We all can't do it. So kudos to them. And what do I think this will pass in the assembly? I don't know. I haven't been in New York State politics long enough to know. So I don't know, but I'll stay tuned. All right, let's talk about Brittany Griner and the updates. So Democrats are trying to push a resolution that urges the release of Brittany Griner from Russia. And so, I'm not saying a little too late. I'm not saying, because anything is better than no action. But what I am saying is what the fuck is this y'all pushing? So Democratic Representative Greg Stanton is sponsoring the resolution along with Texas Democrats Sheila Jackson Lee and Colin Allred. And basically, it just urges the U.S. government to do everything it can to secure Griner's release. And so that's all the bill really does. It's sort of like how, if the president declares a state of emergency, and that means that everything almost becomes emergency use. You can't sell this product for this cost as an emergency use, or it's something like that. The thing is that the government allegedly has been doing that. So, I my problem with this is that you're putting too much attention on this issue, and we need to de-escalate the attention. And I'm going to tell you why. So next we have the Adam Silver and the NBA are now teaming up with the WNBA on the release. Well, guess what? They've just uncovered. Now, the WNBA and the NBA got way more weight together than separate. And so they connected with not only Russian folks, the White House, the State Department. Bitch, they had private detectives. They had folks over there trying to figure out what was going on with her. And they had got smacked because it was reported that they need to chill out. Y'all need to de-escalate it, because the problem is that you don't want to preempt Russia. And so it goes on to say that Adam Silver goes on to say that we've been in touch with the White House, the State Department, hostage negotiators, every level of government, and also through the private sector as well. Our number one priority is her health and safety, and making sure that she gets out of Russia. However, the consular official came away with the impression that Brittany Griner is doing as well as might be expected under conditions that only can be described as exceedingly difficult, but sporadic contact is not satisfactory, and it also may not be consistent with the Vienna Convention to Russia, which Russia has subscribed. So they're telling them that experts is telling them not to attempt an aggressive approach to provoke Russia to take even further steps at concealing and detaining Brittany Griner. And as you all know, reported, I think earlier this week, that her release was trial was extended another 30 days. And I said they're going to extend it. They're going to extend this bitch all the way until Putin decides it's okay to move. And so I don't know. I just, the Democrats pushing the bill. I wish it was something that they could have done quietly without press, but I know you need press to campaign and get support. But it's like, okay, you do that and show the world that we got a bill out here that's going to put every fucking resource that we have available at securing her release. And then Putin and them is looking at this. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to totally counter every opportunity, because we're taking some counter action. They don't give a fuck about the Vienna Convention, because if they did, this wouldn't have gone down this way. So now we're sitting here like, I know I'm sitting here like, please, chill. Like, what we really need y'all to do is do everything in secret. Don't stop, but we don't need to know as much as we do. Keep us informed in terms of her health, her condition. Is she safe? But all this stuff behind the scenes, I could go, maybe a couple of weeks without you telling us the nitty gritty. And so that's how I feel about it. Do I think a bill will work? I don't know. Do you all think a bill would work, was going to push the government to do anything more than they can, given Ukraine and Russia is at war? Oh, this is so good. I put some cinnamon in here. Good morning, Sticks girl. Good morning. So, of course, this is now being done after all the record companies have made their money off of these artists spreading such poison. Nate, I understand. I feel you. That's why I'm always saying, like, if we have the leverage and opportunity to get ahead of stuff like this, especially if it impacts me, and I know it's going to impact another brother or sister or fellow man of mine, start establishing these guidelines, rules, share information, get out there so that nobody else falls in the trap. And then it's upon us to understand that this is the way the world works. I would love for that bill to be adopted by most states. Good morning, Cash Apps and bullshit. Why haven't they done this to country music? It's just as violent. Listen to the lyrics. Okay. Free my stud, Brittany. Okay. Free Brit. Okay. Free Brit. She is definitely making a name for herself here in the States. I hope she comes back. And when she comes back, she receives so much love. I was looking at her picture the other day. I said, oh, look at you. I said, I was trying to envision, like, what is your state of mind, like, on the social side right now? Like, are you just like totally depleted, or is there a little bit of hope in her life? I was just trying to look and see where would I be? I know I'd feel a little bit depleted being in Russia, given that they're at war with Ukraine. Y'all remember when NWA was put on trial and Uncle Luke for their lyrics? They've been going, yes, I remember that. Oh man. Any prisoners at the Soviets, you should now consider them political prisoners. They will be used as pawns. We said that, didn't we? The NBA is connected to the Chinese slave workshops and illegal trade of organ transplant. The NBA needs to shut the fuck up. Brittany is dumb as fuck for being there. They really need to be quiet. The Soviet Union is the war. There are no such things as rules. They're like they following the Vienna Convention. Are you kidding me? If they were following the rules, they wouldn't have first invaded Ukraine. Good morning, Lincoln. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you. Brittany is not worth starting a world war over. I don't care about Brittany. Sorry, not sorry. Pass the peas. No, I definitely want her released, but I just definitely want them to do it more strategically, like they would do any other person. There's so many prisoners over there in Russia that we've negotiated for during this war. So why can't we do this the same way? Why, we are not hearing information about those folks, scientists and journalists and stuff. Like, we don't hear it, but we know it happens. And so now I get it. She's an NBA player, a WNBA player, but we have to maintain a level of integrity for the successful nature of this case. My God. I know I'll be telling folks, please. So I'll stay tuned to Brittany Griner, and I hope you come home soon and your conditions are good. All right, now let's get into hot topics, baby. I just be wanting to talk my shit about these celebrities. That's really what I be wanting to get into. All right, so let's get into this Wendy Williams. And I saved this file that I'm about to put up. I saved it as Wendy Williams alleged victory because everybody running around talking about Wendy Williams won. So Wendy Williams scores victory in Wells Fargo battle. Court appoints guardian over her fortune. And so, she went to court because she had lost access to her accounts. And basically, they're saying that she scored a huge victory battle in her court case against Wells Fargo. And I'm like, how, Sway? Because they're saying that it was revealed that at that court session, she was appointed a financial guardian over her bank accounts. So they're saying that she sued the bank, claiming they froze her accounts after her former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, raised concerns of potential financial exploitation. She claimed that she fired Schiller due to malfeasance in relation to Williams' accounts and her proper conduct in relation to their professional relationship. What she demanded her money back. She demanded the bank allow her to use her money back, and then they asked for a court to appoint a guardian before the money was released. And so Wells Fargo, them supporting their stance, saying they had strong reason to believe that William is the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. And so they said that they not only relied on reports of the financial advisor, but they have recently witnessed telltale signs of exploitation, including Williams' own apprehensions, but also upon other independent third parties who know Williams well and share these concerns. So now they're telling us that the guardianship process is complete, which means the court appointed a financial guardian. The next steps will be for Williams and the guardian working with the court on a plan to access the funds. The outlet reports Wells Fargo has been removed from the case. The bank will have to follow the instructions given by the new guardian. An insider close to Williams said the guardian who was appointed has experience with managing finances. The entertainer has yet to be given access, but that could change in the next 2 months. And people are also saying, to make clear, that this is nothing like the conservatorship of Britney Spears that she was placed under. So, score where? Where was the score? Because before this whole shit went down, she had come and go access to her accounts, through her financial representative, her financial planner. So all of a sudden now, Wells Fargo raises a flag. She takes them to court to say, no, I'm not, don't cut my access off. And they say, well, if you're going to take us to court, the only way you'll get these funds is to get a court appointed financial guardian. And she goes to court to get her access back and ends up coming back with having to get a financial guardian. I don't see where the win was. Sorry. I don't at all. but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out for her and moving forward. Now they're saying the conservatorship is not like the financial the financial guardianship is nothing like the conservatorship. It's not as detailed and it's not as scrutinized about your life. It's more so just financial wealth and financial guardian, just watching the money that you spend. I'm sure there'll be budgets involved, approvals at certain levels. I'm sure she'll be able to have go in, teller access and stuff like that. But I think that it's a period of time where they're just going to watch to make sure that there's no sort of anybody trying to take over or mishandling of her funds. And again, I still feel like a lot of that had to do with Debmar Mercury providing Wells Fargo with information behind the scenes to sort of cut her from either making deals or moving forward in her brand. It is what it is. It's already been a court sanctioned thing. The guardianship process is complete. She can't get out of it at this point. But at least she has more than $2 in her pocket. Because I remember her saying the other day she had only like $2 to her name, and I'm like, Wendy, now even if that's true, you don't come out here telling us you only got $2 in your pocket, like, for the life of me. I'm getting ready. Okay. All right. Who's the guardian child? Please don't say Kevin Hunter. No, it's supposed to be an experienced professional financial planner. Good morning, Journey. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, that's crazy how your money can be put on a hold in an instant. But do you feel like it's the same? I mean, she got some level of access to it, but they're saying it's not even going to happen within 2 months. So she still has to go through the same routines that she's been going through to get her money. It's like, God damn. Good morning, boo. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you on site. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And good morning to you. I just hate Wells Fargo. I'm not even sure what's going on, but I'm sure it's their fault. Well, I'm hoping that at the end of this, she moves her money out of Wells Fargo and goes to a financial institution that is openly open to her coming there and making use of their resources. Because clearly it seems like, 15-year relationship, and at the drop of a dime, somebody can tell you something to fuck that up. Clearly, y'all don't have my best interest at all either. I know you want to make money, but damn. So I'm hoping she completely goes somewhere else. So I guess congratulations. She can get some money, but not really. I don't know. I just was like, okay, yeah, Wendy Williams needs to remove separate from Deborah Mercury. They and Wells Fargo stole from her. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about this next week. The fact that it's not even legally possible for them to cancel Sherri Shepherd's show. I was reading more into it. It's not even legally possible for Debmar Mercury to cancel Sherri Shepherd's show. And it's not even legal for Wendy Williams to go out there and use the Wendy Williams show title because Debmar Mercury owns that by contract. That they own their Instagram account. That's why she couldn't even create a new account. So it's like, it looks like she's going to have to take them to court too as well. And so it's interesting. So we'll talk about that next week. I'm just being petty. I got money from a class action lawsuit against Wells Fargo years ago, shady mortgage practices. So the bank now can hold your money hostage. I think Wells Fargo is just holding on because they've had a lot of lawsuits against them, and Wendy has a lot of cash. If they needed Wendy Williams money to help them with their lawsuits, I think they need to go out of business. Seriously, yeah, what's really going on? So we'll stay tuned to that. Just a pop in. Congratulations is in order to Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. They welcomed their first child together. Now, the reports say that she had her baby almost a week ago on May 13th. It's a boy, and she kept it under wraps. And I said, Monday, I came out here and told y'all that what happened last Friday, May 13th, there was this doctor in the hospital or somebody in the hospital who put that tweet out. Remember? And I kept, look at this grown. You grown now. I don't want you. Get on your bed. Remember, and leaked it talking about some Rihanna closed down the hole before she had her baby. It's a boy, and a few sources picked it up, and I was just looking like, oh my God, what kind of violation is this? And now to find out that there was some level of truth to that, and she held it and she released it like almost until a week later, the date. So she had a boy. She hasn't revealed a picture or a name. And Chris Brown also extended his congratulations. He posted an IG story, congratulations, no names, but one of the baby emojis. There, everyone's saying a source close to them is saying that she's excited to be a mom. They're both happy together. They, they are not revealing the public name. Rihanna is doing well. They are very excited to be parents. Rihanna is already a wonderful mom. So shout out to them. Congratulations to her. And it's hard to keep things under wraps nowadays because everybody just feel like they have the right to share your shit, even if you are a celebrity. So it sucks that we were tipped off, but I'm glad that everything was safe and sound, and you had a safe pregnancy term. So kudos to her. Miley Cyrus had to change her name to Miley and trademark the name so she can make money. So she can make money and not just Disney. I would have thought Wendy Williams was smart enough to trademark and own her name. I think, then that's why everybody's talking about they want Kevin Hunter back in her life because he'll help her manage her finances. I'm like, really? Really? Is that what we think? I see a text message. I just can't. I'm not even trying to open my phone, but I see you. Good morning to you. I wouldn't show the internet nothing. Okay, I wouldn't either. All right, now let's get into this weird shit. Did y'all hear this? Blac Chyna is facing off against Instagram model in a celebrity boxing match. So I'm gonna show y'all the clip of Blac Chyna and this girl. This stunted ass, fake ass shit. I said Blac Chyna's out here doing anything to make a coin. She said, fuck that. If I'm not gonna get it from the Kardashians, I'm gonna get it somewhere. So after losing her defamation case against the Kardashians, stripper turned reality star Blac Chyna is set to box it out against an IG model. So it was announced weeks ago that Chyna will be fighting in a celebrity match, but she didn't really have a competitor. Nobody stepped up to the challenge. Well, Instagram model and Air Force veteran Elisa Megan took up the challenge with a press conference featuring the two beautiful women. Megan and Chyna are set to fight each other on June 11th. Now, can I show y'all something? Can I show y'all something? Y'all want to see how they looked at each other? Like, y'all want to see the fakeness of this shit? Okay.
It's going down. You see it. You see it. It's going down. 2 to 11. Hold up. 2 to 11. Go ahead now. You know what? 11, y'all. It's going down. You see it. You see it. It's going down. 2 to 11. Hold up. 2 to 11. Go ahead now.
You know what? I think that's really, really, really cute, but I just hope you know that June 11th is on.
What is going on? Now, that if that wasn't so fake as hell, first of all, Blac Chyna don't want to fight this girl. Blac Chyna probably can't fight this girl. I'm not saying she can't fight, but it did not appear like she was trying to do that. And her bodyguards were all around her like she was, nobody get to her. So I just look at this as a money grab. I'm sure it'll be set up for like the winners already set. I'm sure that this is gonna look good for Blac Chyna. I don't think that she's gonna get hurt or anything like this. I don't think the women's celebrity box matches, well, and this chance will go like that. But I'm thinking like, geez, Louise, Blac Chyna, you going this hard down? Rihanna is gonna sue that hospital. Bitch better have her money. I heard that because I even had to report the tea on that because I was sitting there looking like, no, what in the hell? And so I found myself on Twitter going to my sources to see, because it's certain Twitter accounts that track them all the time. They have pictures of them everywhere. And I was like, oh, I don't see no pictures of her for like over the last 2-3 days. And that was that Friday. So now to come to find out that happened, she better sue that bitch. She better sue the hell out of them. Because what else tell them what the people are leaking? from that hospital. They need to raise the red flags on that shit. If not, if they haven't done it already, Lord, 3 Heartbeats. Hey, boo. Hey, 3 Heartbeats. Blac Chyna is so desperate. I can't with her. The money getting low. Bootleg WW. What in the ghetto is this? Did y'all see that? Child, Blac Chyna already scared. That's what I said. Is this for real? Like, what are we doing? Good morning, no one cares. Will make you do strange things. Hope she don't get her ass beat. I'm sure. See, for the right bag, if it was millions at stake, and for the right bag, if she lets the right person bang her, I'm sure she'll get a bag. If we saw a real fight of Blac Chyna and somebody else, I'm sure we get a bag. It was one chick that wanted to fight her. I don't know if it was Ruby Red or some rapper that said, yeah, they'll fight her, but Blac Chyna was not with that. She was like, no, So it's like, oh, okay, you want to pick your opponent, and then the opponent you pick is this. Okay, girl, this is giving wrestling match in that hood on a mattress in the yard. Can't get the Kardashian, just give that girl some money, please. If she'd have went about it the right way, child, her money is low and her 15 minutes of fame is gone. Okay, it is. That's the sad part. The bleaching cream tactics ain't working no more. Oh, ghetto one punch Papa implant is all over. Papa implant. That is why I said this girl doesn't want to fight, because she was regarding herself like. And did you see one more time? I just want you to see the way she pushed her. She did like it was like one of them pushes that Carry On would give. It's a Carry On push. Damn, I hate. I'm sorry, Carry On. It's just you've become an easy example, not only for YouTube commentary, but in my real life, I'd be like, I be using the hell out of Carry On. So let me make sure y'all can see this again. Look at this weak ass push.
It's going down. You see it. You see it.
Wait, now she was caught. Her push was caught.
You see it. You see it. It's going down. 2 to 11. Hold up. 2 to 11. Go ahead now.
You know what? I think that's really, really, really cute, but I just hope you know that June 11th is on. It's
on.
Girl, give it up. Give it up. So that's Blac Chyna on her way to get a bag. Listen, I'm not mad at all. Hey, Voodoo. Good morning. Miss Toby, good morning to you. It's good to see you, Miss Toby. That ain't the typical Wonder Bread. Blac Chyna be busting down. That Wonder hits back. That's why I said, oh, you chose this? I said, okay, an Army vet and an IG Instagram model who's definitely trying to make a name for herself. Baby, all right, it's the push for me. I mean, that's, come on. They could have gave her a little another. Let Blac Chyna push the girl, for crying out loud. You're not this. Baby, I'll be out here. Last night I was out talking about Carrie. I was in this hookah spot. I'm like, let me not even talk about my friends. The acting is horrible, period. Horrible. Good morning, you all. I see you all are coming in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, news crew. All right, so let's move on. Now there's this big rumor about Quavo and Offset of the Migos. They're breaking up. The Migos has broke up because on social media, people have pointed out that Cardi B and Offset are no longer following Quavo, and Quavo is no longer following Offset and Cardi B. However, Takeoff is following Cardi B and Offset and Quavo. Now, this Friday, tonight, maybe, Quavo and Takeoff are releasing a new song. And the reason people are really adding fuel to this fire is because they're saying the new song is not even Migos featuring these two or their Migos titled name. They're doing this under the title Unk and Few. So that's their stage name for this single, Unk and Few, and it's called Hotel Lobby. And I watched a little clip of it, and it's interesting. I mean, it sounds like the Migos. So people are speculating they broke up in the group. They're not tight anymore. And my thing was, yeah, but I see stunt. I see PR stunt all over this. I see a way to draw more interest around the group for them to drop something like this on an album that they may surprise drop, and they may give some information, some more details around it. I really was going to wait till Monday to report the story because I wanted to see what the weekend would give us, but I wanted to just tip off everyone as you're watching this unfold. Also, in the back of your mind, have PR stunt. These celebrities do it really, really well. Also, Quavo is out in Jamaica, and he was posting stories, and at the same time, Karrueche Tron, she was posting on her story, her in Jamaica getting her life. And so everybody was like, oh, what they doing? I'm like, they been smoozing. Are you kidding me? I know everybody, they denied it before. Baby, let me tell you one thing that I know, and two things for certain. Ain't no way you're going to be able to hide the fact that, you two have been caught in places together multiple times, and very ironic. Both y'all in Jamaica at the same time, and y'all both at the same water park and not saying nothing to each other. And I think they're a cute couple. I think it's a cute couple. As far as the Migos split, I just see gossip commentary. I want to see more from them. I think that Offset, given that he really doesn't have he isn't like a top rapper. I think that if something like this was to happen, he would have either said something, did something. There'd be more evidence from him specifically, because I just feel like he's so vocal when he's drawn down in the public. And to see that he hasn't really said too much of nothing, I just feel like they probably said, let's stop following each other, cause some story, some drama. So I'll stay tuned. I'll keep my eye to the streets and the story. Hey, T. Trisha One, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Friday to you. I think it's just a stunt. Right. I said the same thing, Voodoo. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are we doing this? Are we doing this? Just because the last, what was it, Culture 3 or 4 was whack, don't mean I got to resort to pulling Lady Gaga stunts just to sell an album, exactly, to get more sales. Never cared about any of those colorists. Aw, I think the Migos music is horrible. Will the mumble rap ever end? Baby, if they listen to Kendrick Lamar's album, just a shameless plug, one of my favorite songs on that album is the song, I think it's A Mother's something, where he's going back and forth with the female, and they're actually having a conversation, cursing each other out. Fuck you, bitch. No, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, bitch. No, fuck you, nigga. I love that. I love it because people want to give that they want to hear that is so much, that's much more authentic than hearing these trap rappers sing about women and their experiences in such a negative way. And we know that half that shit is fiction, half that shit ain't true. But to then tell a story and have a woman sing on that part, it was just like, I love it. I love Rich Spirit. Rich Spirit is my joint off that album. I love Rich Spirit, the song. But yeah, so if mumble rap, would it ever end? I hope it does, because I'm not a fan of it as well. But I hope those artists who do mumble rap take heed to artists like Kendrick Lamar. That he put together a good body of work. Like they said, he was making an album to call the people together, to get us together, to come to the table. And I was like, I'm at the table. Shit, I'm sitting here now. So y'all check that out. Please check it out. It is really a good, just put it on and clean the house kind of album, or you getting ready to go out. I played it all last night and some this morning. People be matching up the leaves and picks. They might as well take them together. Okay, Voodoo. But what's the problem with them two being together? I think she don't want to be labeled as a hoe or a slut. And I think they're so uncertain that if nobody is taking a key from Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, I love how he says, that's my lady. They was recently out, and they were trying to, A$AP Rocky and Rihanna were recently out before she gave birth. And they were trying to get into a club in New York. And so they were just walking the streets, smoking, drinking, chilling. And he said, hey, you want to go to this spot that I know called the Barcade? Well, they walked to the Barcade, and the dude at the door was like, where's her ID? And he was like, what? And so media asked him about it. He's like, yo, that's my lady. He was like, what happened with your girl? And just he was like, no, that's my lady. Well, you got to put a title on it, but that's my lady, that's my girl. And so I feel like, here, that's your girl. Y'all together. Y'all ain't got to put shit on it. But y'all cute together. I think they're cute together. I think Quavo, if he get his teeth fixed, like his permanent teeth, because I think I saw something and I just was like, not Quavo. Baby, you could. All right, so that's Quavo and Offset. Again, we don't think there's much to that, but I will stay tuned for you. Yes, I will. All right, so let's get into this funny shit. So Lil Wayne and Mark Cuban. So this shit was funny as hell. So they got into a little spat um over a game. And so it all kicked off because Lil Wayne tweeted this. He goes, Luca a hoe. Now he was rooting for the Dallas. What team was he rooting for? I think he was rooting for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm trying to see which team he was rooting for. Which team was he rooting for, you all? Was it the Dallas Mavericks? Oh, no, he was rooting for the Phoenix Suns in their second round matchup with the Dallas Mavericks. The Suns would lose, but early in the series, Weezy let off his feelings about Mavs superstar Luka Doncic. So he issued this tweet, Luka is a hoe. And so when that team won, the Mark Cuban, you know, the owner, he goes on to tweet this. It's a shit show, put you front row. Now, these are Lil Wayne's lyrics. So Lil Wayne gets really, really heated. At first, I didn't understand why he got heated. So Lil Wayne tweets this and deletes this, but he tweets, Mark Cuban, don't make me get you smacked, boy. You playing with me, I will piss in your fucking mouth, ho. And he also goes on to tweet, yes, it is up. And he left that tweet up. Now, if you all look at this picture, Lil Wayne is sitting courtside with his son. And so many people were like, Lil Wayne is more pissed at the fact that you used a picture of him and his son with these lyrics. It's a shit show, put you front row. So that added fuel to the fire. But more of their beef, as I was reading, came from the fact that, you know, for years, Lil Wayne would go to the Miami Heat's game, sit courtside, and all of those great things. And Mark Cuban would also invite him out to games, and, you know, they would all party and hang together. Well, there was a dinner or something that Lil Wayne was at, and Mark Cuban was at. And I guess things got a little heated because Lil Wayne was sitting with the Miami Heat players, and, you know, Mark Cuban was playing for another team at that time, and they kind of sort of butted heads. And so ever since then, they have been trying to mend their relationships and stuff like that. So on the cusp of this actual tweet, Mark Cuban has sent Lil Wayne tickets to attend some games. And Lil Wayne was like, nah, I'm not going to attend. I don't know how, you know, I'm a chill. And then this shit happened. So now you can understand when he tweeted this, Mark Cuban, don't make me get you smacked, boy. You playing with me. I will piss you in your... It's more to it. It was more juice to it because they already got their own issues behind the scenes. Now they're cool. So Lil Wayne and Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban have squashed the beef with Mac Main's help. So Mac Main did reach out to both Mark Cuban and Lil Wayne and got them on a phone call. And he said, I just got the phone with Mark Cuban and Lil Wayne, and it's all love. And so I'm glad that they're on a good page, but you cannot deny this shit right here threw me for a doozy. So you end up pissing in people, like that's what we say. I will piss in your fucking mouth hole. Like Wayne. I saw it and I was like, nah, Wayne. I know Wayne ain't out here doing that. Not to Mark Cuban. Exactly, to get more sales. People be matching up the leaves and the picks. Lil Wayne need to let them 3 dreadlocks go. Oh, a golden Lord of the Rings looking ass, not a golden shower, a whole golden shower. He really didn't age well. Like, oh my God, I guess money can buy Iris Law. Lil Wayne, yuck. Yeah, Lil Wayne definitely I think a lot of that comes from years of drug abuse. You know, he was a heavy drug abuser. And so, yeah, yeah. So now let's talk about Doja Cat. I know you all saw my community wall. I posted a little picture of Doja Cat and them saying that, you know, she's canceling her tour because she's struggling with nicotine addiction and had her surgery on her tonsils. So what they're saying is that before the Billboard Music Awards, she had a growth on her lungs. And so the doctor, you know, cleared it up and gave her some antibiotics. Well, at the Billboard Music Awards, at the after party, she started drinking wine and using her vape pen almost repetitiously. And so she said that it flared up. And so she had to go to the doctors, and it was a larger growth on her throat. And so she went on Twitter to tell her fans, you know, I might not be able to sing or perform like I normally would for a little bit of time while I heal. And then her fan, she was telling me, because I vape, and they were saying, well, let the vaping go, and she's like, it's not really the vaping, it's the nicotine. And she was saying, I can let it go, but, and she's saying, I'm not weak. I'm not a weak person. And I'm sitting here looking like, girl, you don't got to explain yourself. She says, throwing them away just instills panic. I'm addicted, but I'm not weak. I was literally staring at my vape today that normally I'd hit 1,000 times a day and hit it 2 times instead. I'm going to try to go cold turkey for now, but hopefully my brain doesn't need it all by then. So fuck out of here with that throw it away then queen shit. That doesn't help anybody, and it just sounds condescending to anybody who's actually struggling with nicotine addiction. I've tried all that throw it away shit before. It doesn't work. She said, y'all about to make me cry with all the reassurance. I appreciate it. Thanks for being supportive. I love you. And so shout out to her for sharing that story about her, her nicotine addiction, because I'm sure there's people who are facing it as well. So I do hope she is able to overcome it to a point, or manage it to a point that it doesn't affect her career, or she gets lung cancer or anything like that, because it does sound like it's serious, especially if she had to go twice for the same thing, and then the second time it was a larger growth. And I'm sure it's due to a lot of stress. She won a Billboard Music Awards, but it wasn't really celebrated. It wasn't really graciously thrown upon her. It's like, oh, you got that? How? So I'm sure she's under a lot of stress and hitting. I didn't know she smoked it like 1,000 times a day, but maybe you might have to, try 2 times a day or try to patch something. But anything is better than nothing. And she's starting to grow on me. Good morning, Shay Beezy. Thank you for coming through. Good morning. Good morning. That nicotine addiction is real. My mom was sneaking in the hospital bathroom smoking a week prior to her death. Oh my God, it's no joke. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Toby. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. That's why I was saying that it definitely sounds like it's something serious for her. If she went back again and the second time it was a larger growth, it's like, wait. That's enough to scare a person. My uncle who raised me, he went cold turkey because he went to the hospital for a heart attack, and it was so severe that they had to put mild stents in his heart, and they told him, like, sir, if you smoke one more cigarette, you will come back here and you will die. It was that bad. He had been smoking like 40 something years, and literally that December he stopped smoking. It was like he stopped smoking, period. No cigarettes or nothing like that. And years later, we asked, like, how did you do that? What happened? How did you do that? And he was like, it was my titi. He didn't want to leave my auntie by herself. He didn't want to leave her alone by herself. And I thought that, I was like, wow, love. So what a motivating factor. So yeah, I agree. It's something you got to find your own thing, your niche to get over it, because it will take you out. I never liked Colors, Doja Cat, Don't Care, a real artist, but their voice first, a stolen spot from a real Black female. You ain't gonna let it go. She needs to learn to sing from her diaphragm. The struggle is real. Yeah. Them vapes are deadly. But there. You ain't letting up on her. All right. So that's the Doja Cat story. So let's get into YFN Lucci. So the DA says that YSL involved in shootings, murders in excess of 50. YFN Lucci's lawyer reports files for hearing. So let me tell you about these in excess of 50. So remember the guy back in 2015, 2014, Donovan Smith, the YFN affiliate of what is his name? YFN Lucci. The affiliate of YFN Lucci, Donovan, that he was shot and killed, and the rented car that shot and killed him had been traced back to Young Thug. Well, they said ever since that one incident, they have had 50, in excess of 50 shootings from that date to the not current date, but the date of like the arresting, of them having occasions where they've been shooting back and forth, these gangs. And so that's really that case. Donovan Smith's case is really what led them to see that most of the activity that happened in the streets between these gangs leading to more murders. And see, what we don't hear about, we hear about the loud names, the popular names, the celebrity names. Those other 30 assailants that were arrested from Young Thug's compound, we don't hear really about those individuals because they're not really popular and salacious in the media. But it was a lot of those individuals from both sides. Young YFN Lucci is not innocent as well either. So from both sides, we're in the streets just battling it out. While these two rappers were, you know, in the celebrity rapping, doing their thing out here, putting out music, we're not reading in between the lines, but they're really camping and campaigning for what's going on in the streets. And so it's starting to really put this picture around what the fuck happened here and why these two are connected. And so YFN Lucci's attorney is like, listen, is they're requesting he be released on reasonable conditions and an emergency bond hearing to assert that despite being named a victim in a sprawling and high-profile criminal case, nor any victim's advocate from their office has reached out to him. So he's saying that because he's not he was a victim based on the indictment that they released on Young Thug, he should be released on reasonable terms because his reason for being in jail isn't as severe, and he's listed as in that indictment as well. And we're waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear as well. Also, remember he was stabbed with a shank repeatedly inside the Fulton County jail. So they're asking that he's released. Do I think they'll release him or move him to? I think that what they'll do is keep these two separate. But there hasn't been any response yet from the court in terms of honoring this release, this conditional release. Now, the jail did respond to Young Thug's assertion of having torturous jail conditions. And what they said was, in a nutshell, like, look, this ain't the Ritz fucking Carlton, okay? This is a jail, okay? You are a celebrity, a high-profile celebrity. We have to put you in a room by yourself, solitary confinement, because there is a strong possibility that you may get hurt, you may hurt yourself, something may happen, and we need to make sure that we need to protect you. So all of these allegations, they basically came out and said, no, he's okay, he's fine. And I assumed that they were just saying that initially just to have something to say to move forward, to at least get him somewhere else. But as long as they have 24-hour watch on him, I think he should be less worried about moving to a Ritz-Carlton like jail. Yeah, I'm just trying to see the purpose of to let the community know that we're not doing anything that we don't want them to do. So they also let in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to assess the jail and make sure everything in the jail was all on the up and up. So again, there was nothing there to the jail allegations, and I figured there was really nothing about him having torturous conditions. I'm like, you are a celebrity, a high-profile celebrity in a case that just kicked off. You think they're about to allow you just to be in regular confinement? No, nigga, no. Doja Cat is letting her handlers know she is over it. She got her money and she is done. Those RICO laws will get folks. King Roma, are you watching We Own This City? I need to watch that. I saw the promo for that because it's like a spinoff. It's like a spinoff of The Wire, right? Doja Cat is gonna come back singing Wonder Bread music. No. If you follow these rappers and read their local news, everything connects to gang war. These idiots been telling on themselves. That's what's happened here. That's pretty much what has happened here. He want that Martha Stewart jail cell. Okay, no, even though you wear Martha Stewart dress, you ain't getting the Martha Stewart cell. No, sir. So yeah, that's Young Thug. Now, have you all heard about this Lil Keed story? Lil Keed reportedly complained of severe stomach pain prior to his death. And so it was so interesting to me because I'm like, was there a connection? Did somebody put something in his drink? Was there a hit? What's going on? So what they're saying is that prior to his death, he was experiencing severe stomach pain in the days leading up. The discomfort was so intense, it eventually landed him in the hospital. And from there, his liver and kidneys reportedly began failing. Sources informed the outlet that Keed had struggled with drugs and alcohol in the past, but that he had recently been clean and sober. So the latest information comes as Keed's friends and family continue to mourn the loss of the 24-year-old Young Thug affiliate. So they're saying that, you know, they're going to have an autopsy performed. I think it's an autopsy is going to be performed either this Friday or next week Friday, but an autopsy is going to be provided, and we'll have more details surrounding his death, and if there was foul play here. Now, do I think there was foul play? I definitely don't think that it was accidental. I definitely don't think that somebody stumbled upon, I don't think that. I definitely think there was something, maybe it had drugs or maybe it was alcohol, but I definitely think there was something that preempted this to happen. Unfortunately, they have denied the family a vigil permit for the Forest Park area because they're saying, one, they have the governor elections in their area next week, and two, they don't want the crime in the area. They already put up boards and they have police officers all over the neighborhood because they don't want businesses torn up. They don't want homes broken into. So they just declined the permit. They don't want the vigil because, it's going to be an opportunity for people to gather collectively and another opportunity for people who don't like those folks gather collectively to war. So they denied the permit. And so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see where they move the vigil to. And I'll stay tuned to this story as well. And rest in peace to Lil Keed, and to your family and friends. My condolences to you all as well. It's so sad. We keep losing all of these rappers. He needs to get comfortable because they want him locked down. They're using his lyrics as proof. It's so sad. And even us, as we go listen to certain songs like that, it's an album. It got a red cover on it. I can't think of the name. I'm drawing a blank. But if you go listen to that album, that's the one album that they're drawing lyrics from as well. And I would listen to it and I was like, damn, nigga. First, I thought I didn't even know he got down like that. So I was shocked in my own right. Sounds like he got a hot shot. Yeah. Is that what we calling it now? A hot shot? All right. So the last story in Hot Topics. Now, this shit is crazy. Rajan Rondo. So Rajan Rondo allegedly pulls gun on his girlfriend and their children, and he has a history of verbal abuse. So let's get into this story. So Rajan Rondo is accused of pulling a gun on his mother of his children. And so she filed for an emergency protective order. So get into this story, how this goes on. So she states that he was playing video games with his son, Pierre. So then she asked the son to separate laundry. So he then rips the game console. The basketball player, Rajan Rondo, rips the game console out the wall in a fit of rage, smashing outdoor lights, a coffee cup, and trash cans. He even upset the kids who saw all the rage. So she tried to calm him down, but he then threatened her like, "You're dead." So he left the home, returned 15 minutes later, banging on the back door with a gun. She asked him to stop, but he would yell, "Go get my fucking son." So she did that out of fear of what he would do next. So when he would eventually yank the son outside and ask why the son was scared of his father, why his father was holding a gun, he would then demand the daughter to come out, and he verbally reprimanded both children for being scared of him. So then she called his parents to come to the home. So the parents comes to the home, but they're unable to calm him down or get him to leave. So she goes to get a protective order. She says, "I am extremely fearful for my safety and for the safety of my children. Rajan has a history of volatile, erratic, explosive behavior. He is verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive. He physically hits our son and calls him names like pussy and accuses him of acting like a bitch." The report also states Rondo calls his daughter thought, bitch, and dickhead. Rondo has not been charged or arrested for a crime. Bitch, that's no. I said, what the fuck is going on here? She left so many little details out. Like, he went from you asking the boy who was playing video games with you to come help you separate laundry to yanking the controller out the wall. There's definitely some domestic violence issues going on in that home, man. Absolutely. They even reported that he has a history of violence. And so, I'm very glad that she called his parents. Step one, I'm very glad she called. They got the police involved. But what makes me upset, and we see this oftentimes, is that the victim, only goes so far as to get a temporary restraining order until things cool down. And then the situation goes back. and you don't press charges. And so it opens the door for another circular event. Now, I don't know the magnitude of your relationship. I don't know, what goes on. But what I do know is any person who's willing to pull a gun out, wave it and brandish it in front of their children, and the kids are distinctly telling you that they're afraid of him. And it sounds like the son is afraid of his father, like he's scared of him. And the father is like, why are you afraid of me? Why are you scared of me? Well, if you've been calling him pussy and a bitch and punching him around, yeah, that's abuse. That's child abuse. Ma'am, you have every right to get away from this man, you and your kids. I know the money's probably good, and it's easier said than done. But I think this was a first step, and I think you should have press charges. I think a lesson needs to be taught there. And it's hard. It's easy for me to say that because I'm not right. I'm not dating an NBA, a basketball player with millions in the bank. So it's easier for me to say that because I don't know what it looks like to lead that kind of life. But at the same time, somebody could get hurt, and you got to think about it. And maybe I'm a little sensitized because we talk about stories like this all the time where, people brandishing guns and then the gun goes off, or the father is, beating the kids and the mother isn't saying anything until it's too late. That's what I'm thinking about. That's why I'm saying, like, for the safety of your kids, man, I think, I would definitely report you to press charges. I'm old, King Rome. That's what they called it back in the day, a hot shot. See, these beasts need to be locked up. Hell yeah. Rappers and hip hop been rapping about their real life. The public chooses when to condemn them. Yep. That's why they got rap music on trial. She crazy. She should have met his ass with the water when he put his hands on the kids. So this man went on a violent rage and no charges pressed. So are we waiting for the... Okay. Thank you. Thank you, B1. Thank you. I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, I want to be sensitive to maybe they have a love story that I don't know about, but damn it, hold the fuck up. Does she not know what I know and what I see in the world? Like, we see this shit all the time, right? Where it's just a small little infraction, a small little incident. And then the next week, somebody's dead. And it was like, where are the signs? Well, we called the police last week. So her sign was this. She gets a restraining order. Great. And no charges are pressed because, God, we're hoping that everything gets back to normal. And no, it's not you want to see a black man tore down or anything. We actually uplifted this black man. The problem is that when you you put some of us in these shoes and these roles to fulfill, and we don't step up to the plate and we fuck up, we need a lesson too. We need a lesson too, because if we don't get the lesson, what are we going to do? Repeat the offense, right? And not only are we going to repeat the offense, anyone who watches us or role models their lives after us will repeat that offense as well, because they think you did it, so I can do it. And he has kids. Who knows what his child will grow up thinking is the right way to talk to their own child or treat his wife. Who knows? So I think there should have been a lesson. Should have walked that. He should have been in cuffs. Should have had him in jail for maybe 30 days. During those 30 days, we'd have phone calls on, counseling calls. Work towards what are we going to do here? So he knows that you're not playing anymore. And the public now knows. So I hope and pray for her safety and the kids. Yes, Miss Toby, because we don't know. I don't want this to be another story. I don't. That wife ain't shit. She picking money over her kids. That's what it is. That's what I instantly said. That I said, it gotta be a coin, because who would not? I'm just sitting here thinking, like, at what point would I? Oh, you snatched the motherfucking game console out the wall, bitch! I'm calling the police, your mama, your daddy. I don't know what the fuck going on. All I did was tell him to go wash the clothes, get somebody in here. So yeah, I agree. We collabing? Busy Blue. When are we collabing? I'm gonna hit you in the DMs. I'm gonna hit you in the DMs with some ideas and stuff too. It's good to see you. And I know I would love to hear your take on the Buffalo story. I was telling folks that whole upstate area is really, really it's pockets of racism. Definitely. Even in my hometown, it's pockets of racism all over Rochester, all over Buffalo, all over Syracuse, Niagara Falls area, Ithaca, Watertown. All of those areas have pockets of racism. So this kind of incident didn't surprise me. But what surprised me was the fact that it wasn't stopped and all the signs were there. Like, what the fuck? So, but yeah, we definitely need to. I'm gonna hit you back. I'm gonna hit you in the DMs. It's like people want to be a Dateline Thursday, Sunday night episode. I love that. People do want to be a Dateline Thursday night, Sunday episode, and I'll be sitting there right there watching it. I love Dateline. I even watch Date. I just go back to the old shit. Be watching like, can't believe that shit. Everyone have a great, wonderful Friday and a great weekend. I'll see y'all Monday. Yes, no one cares. Thank you. I'll see you on Monday. I did a video about it. The racism in Seneca is horrible. All over that area. All over that area. Okay, the mama ain't crap. You pick your babies over anything and anyone. Yeah. So I'll stay tuned to Rajan Rondo and what happens. God, I'm asking you to put your hands on this black man, that his spirit gets well and nothing else comes from this. Now let's get into local news. So I have 3 stories, okay? First story, teen accused of shooting his father, stealing a vehicle, and fleeing the state after a bedtime disagreement. So this boy and his father get into it. Like any child and any father, they get into it. Now, this 8th grader, he has been arrested and has been accused of shooting his father. So what happened is that on Wednesday of this week, authorities claim the boy shot his father once in the stomach, then stole a vehicle from a local business and drove more than 100 miles to Lexington, Kentucky. Police were aware he was en route to his mother's house, and they remained in contact with the police until he was detained and then brought back. Now, it's unclear where the boy got the gun. And so now the father, who's sitting in the hospital, he is the only one that the judge says she would consider releasing the boy to if there was a plan for him to be released, because she doesn't want to release him to his mother in Kentucky County. Because he's going to be outside of her jurisdiction. And the father goes on the camera from the bedside and says, he can't stay with me, Your Honor. It's pretty much self-explanatory to see where I'm at. I feel like these little problems have been popping up, and I feel like it's a slap on the wrist to let him out now. So the father wants the son to remain in custody, as well as the police, the assistant juvenile court prosecutor. They agreed that he's a substantial flight risk. Now, the reason these two got into it is because his father told his ass to go to bed. Your bedtime is, I think he said his bedtime was like 9 o'clock or something like that, but take your ass to bed. The boy did not want to go to bed. He's an 8th grader and he wanted to play his video games. And out of nowhere, the boy shoots his father in the stomach. And 8th grader. I'm not talking about a high school student, because in my city, 8th grade is middle school or grammar school, whatever they're calling it now. But it's an 8th grader. I'm just trying to put this in context. Shoots his father in the stomach, steals a local business van, drives 100 miles to the next state to go to his mom's. I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, I'm with the father at this point. The mother's like pleading and the brothers are pleading and the family's pleading because they're like, please let him go. He's a good guy. This is just a very isolated incident. And, it sounds like they're going to say, him and his father always get into it. This was, it just got really, really escalated. And it sounds like the father is like, nah, this is not one of those moments and opportunities. He has been acting his ass up all this time. So it seems like the mother and father are going to bump heads. For me, they should have been bump heads about this shit. It shouldn't have bubbled to an act of this. He should have expressed to her how he's been acting, and she should have expressed to him how he feels about his living situation. Open the lines of communication, people. Now we have this. Father wants him in jail. I think he needs to be in jail. I think he needs 8th grader. Yes. And it's not jail. It's juvenile. It's a juvenile detention center. But I do. A lot of people, you don't put the young black baby, don't put, that's another person. But like this story says, and they also say that it's a safe place that can handle situations like this. And when children with situations like this, it's better for him to be there than to be out in the public where he may run the risk of being a flight risk or doing something more deadly or dangerous. So I'm going to stay tuned to this. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what they charge him with, what his charges are going to be. For right now, they're saying that he's going to be arraigned on Monday and charged with felonious assault and auto theft. while his mother and older brother and defense attorney all told Hamilton County that he should be released. They want him in a good environment and to turn him over to whichever guardian is able to take him today, which would have been her. But the judge said, hell no, not today. What would you all have done as a, as a parent, as the mom, as the mom and as the father, because I try to put myself in both shoes. Like, as the mom, yeah, you don't want your baby to go, but it's like, what do you do? My mama wouldn't let my daddy raise his voice to us. Only my mama put her hands on us. Grand Rising, Zaire. Have a great one, Stiggs. You too. You too. Thank you for coming through as always. Girl, how you doing? Much respect to that father. You talking about the Rajan? Oh, no, you talking about the new story. I'm doing great. That boy, 14, 15 years old. Yep. Yes, he needs some type of punishment. At least if he's in there, they know where he'll be. Exactly. The father is right. Hell no, he ain't coming here. Exactly. Thank you. Y'all be making me feel good because I be feeling like I'm not a parent, so I really don't understand sometimes the connection, but I know right from right, wrong is wrong. Lock that motherfucker up. Put him right in the detention center. I'm sitting in a hospital bed after I've taken care of my child. I don't give a fuck what circumstances have happened. You know what I'm saying? If you could have stole a car before, why don't you just steal the car and go? You really had to shoot me. You had to inflict harm on me. I could have died. I'm fearful of you. You ain't coming back here, and you damn sure don't need to be let out. As long as I'm in this hospital, immobile, your ass need to be immobile. I don't get it. Shit, a little bit of love may have been tainted there in that relationship. That boy is wrong. That boy acted grown and should be punished severely for the lack of respect for order. So do you think the mother would have taken that route and would have punished him, or do you think she would have been a little bit more lenient? Because as the mom, I would be scared as well. Like, damn, you shooting now? That's what it boils down to. Is that where we are now? That's what got me the most. All right. So I'll stay tuned to see what the child will be charged with, and I'll also stay tuned to see who ends up getting custody over this child. Now, it is sad to say that a situation like this would put this child in the system starting in his life, and it wasn't even an external situation. It was internal with his own family. He may have been a good kid and had no criminal history, but not being able to channel and manage your anger in a positive way leads to shit like this. And that is the lesson: managing your anger. Even as an 8th grader, goddamn well you shouldn't be shooting your dad. And where everybody keep asking, where did he get the gun from? Where did he get the gun from? Like, I know that 8th graders are gangy banging nowadays. I know that, but damn, you really have to be careful. That's the kind of kid that'll take out the whole family. Yeah, that father knows what is good. That boy can't be around him ever again. Yeah. That's sad that you say it like that too. The father knows what's good. That boy can't be around him. That's sad. Lock him up. I agree. That mama hates the daddy because she ain't responding with. That's what I see. You read between the lines like I do. I said, oh no, this is something ain't right. Now, don't let it come to find out that you gave him this weapon and said, if your father hit you again or tell you what to do again, you use this on him, and you come see me. And he did exactly what you told him to do, and he was coming to see you. Like, I'll be putting sauce on subs when it don't even need to be none, but I really be like, yeah, I'll be like, what? I need more, so I'm gonna wait for more juice for this. All right, let's get into this other story now. This shit right here, I said, you know what? I can't. So, a mom has been charged after her son brought her gun to his 2nd grade class where it discharged in his backpack and grazed a student. So get into this. So this little boy goes to his classroom. Now this happened in Chicago, okay? Now the little boy goes to his mom's room and picks up the gun that was under her bed and puts it in his backpack. And he takes it to school. And as he's in class at school, it goes off, it discharges, and it grazes one of his classmates. Now we're talking about an 8-year-old boy, okay, with a gun in his backpack, grazing another child in the classroom. So it goes off in his backpack. So principals send out an email letting the school know that, this situation has happened. The student who was hit was taken to a nearby hospital in stable condition. However, the mother has now been charged with child endangerment after the gun was legally registered to her. And unfortunately, because she had it was in no safety box, it wasn't unlocked. She has been held. So in response, what her attorney is saying, that this is not an intentional act, it was negligent. She shouldn't be held to the same standard. She has no pre-existing criminal history. This wasn't something she planned or something she did of her own volition. How the kid knew there was a gun under the bed was beyond her. It's not like she went out and did something purposefully that violated the law. However, the mother of the child that was grazed wants to go after the school as well as the mother. So you already know what's going on. The school about to put that gas on that mother. And that's why I said, oh, now she's charged, because this happened last week, right? She didn't get charged until this week. So it happened last week. And when it happened last week, all the principal did was send an email out to the community, a bullshit ass email out. And in her email, she says, a firearm caused some debris to ricochet in your child's classroom, which hit a member of our school community and caused minor scrapes. And that's all that she really went on to say. She didn't really say anything else. Well, that mother of the child was like, hold up, ho. I mean, I know you're doing your job, bitch, but I know. So what's happening? So then now the school is pressing charges, child endangerment, because, even though the gun was legally owned, it should have been kept up and locked in the case. And someone could have gotten really, really hurt. What do you all think about that? Yeah, you can't graze my child. I'm a second grade. You in second grade, and we got guns. We got edibles and shit. We got alcohol. Now we got guns. You can't make this shit up. It's really the fucking truth. This shit really happens out here. So the mom didn't have a lockbox. Nope. She said she kept it under her bed. And I guess he was playing under her bed, found it and put it in his backpack. That gun could have killed him if it ricocheted when he sat down on a chair and grazed somebody. Just imagine what it could have done if he leaned up against the wall or something. Like, my kids all know, if you ever put your hands on me, I'm going to act like I don't know you. Beat you like a stranger 34 years when you ain't had no problems. I think the mom should be charged. Yeah, you agree? Yeah, she should be charged. Why did he even know where the gun was? Which is the crazy thing. Playing under your bed. Yeah. If you know your child playing under your bed, you should have it. Should be clean and clear and free. That's like me. I eat all around my house, right? And so if I know I have a dog and I'm eating shit that'll make and I'm dropping food everywhere and not going back to pick it up, I know he's going to get sick. I know that. That's like being careless. It's like you're not thinking about what could happen. And because of that negligence, you now have caused they're calling it grazing. Bitch, I'd have had my child. He got shot. That bitch shot him. Grazed. No, bitch, he got shot. It may not have been a bullet wound, but it was a gun that swiped him. I will blow that shit all out of proportion, because I want a lawsuit. I want a coin. If y'all want to settle, that's cool. But just know, I want something out of this. You deserve it. Because then they wanted to know, how did the school not be able to detect like the things in their backpack? So then they also added a clause that backpacks are now being checked prior to them coming into the classrooms. Oh, now the backpacks are being checked prior to. And I know, I get it. It's a second grade. We really shouldn't have to be checking second graders' backpacks. But yeah, I think you should. I really do. Margarita kindergartners, weed brownies for the fifth graders. Now 7-year-olds coming with guns. Hey, just think about this shit when you dropping your babies off to school. Tell them to be very vigilant and pay attention. 10 feet back when somebody going in their book bag to pull out anything. You might want to take a step back. Like, what you got? You got to be very cautious. It's right. That's better. They know. Good morning. Let's get real. Good morning. I hope you have a good Friday too, and a great day. And that probably traumatized the whole class. Hell yeah. and the teacher. She said that she grabbed the book bag and handed it over to the security officer. I wouldn't have been grabbing shit. We'd have been all marching out that classroom. Babies watch you. Babies watch you more than you realize. She has to be charged because she wasn't responsible. Yep. And it changes your life forever now. You know, who knows if you lose the custody of your kids? Who knows if you do get placed in a civil suit? Like, this changes the dynamics of a lot of things. Were you a professional working person? You may lose your job. You may have to lose time at work. This changes a lot. You may not be able to afford your bills the same way you have been, all because you thought it was okay to keep a gun. And not to mention, this motherfucker was loaded. Because you're not telling me he found the rounds and put the rounds in the gun too. It was loaded. No, that's crazy. Ironic how the school used the word grazed versus shot. Did you see grazed? Bitch, shot. Would you? I be the one. We're calling it a minor grazing. We're just gonna call it a minor grazing. There was no shooting. There was no open wound. It was just a grazing. Fuck that. You know why they're doing that? Because they're trying to limit liability. They're trying to limit exposure to a lawsuit. Hell no, I'm homeschooling my future kids. Make them all carry a clear back. That's it. That clear backpack. I mean, I'm open for the clear backpacks at this point if that'll ensure safety. Yesterday at my school, a man was flying a drone over the kids. The security tackled him, but he got away. I'm so ready for this. Are you kidding me? A drone over the kids? What a fucking perv. See, that's how you know. Now that's when something needs to graze him. That's who needs to be grazed. He need to be grazed. The fuck? A drone over the... I don't think there's some law about that. You can't fly drones near airports, schools, or in some other place. Schools, hospitals, airports, in another location. You can't fly drones. Of course, the White House and the military bases and shit like that. But you can't fly drones. That's sort of illegal. People be doing the fucking most, yo. That's messed up on so many... I said the same thing. Like, what are you doing for the fucking... freak mind of your ass? See, that'll get you hurt. And then don't let people see who's doing it. See, drones allows people to be anonymous in their behavior. You got tackled, now we get to see you're the one up here doing this shit. You get your whole life and your career changed. My child is going to second grade next year. I can't imagine a child that young bringing a gun to school, then firing it. Wow. Isn't it crazy? It is crazy. They're almost like, do you have to ask the school, what is your policy on checking bags in the morning? Like, it's almost, you don't want to know that they got to do a search on, these little babies, but at the same time, it's not them, it's their parents. He hit football moves to grab that drone and ran away. He was up to something. Whoa. Keep us informed. I would love to know if anything comes out of that, because now that'll get you hurt. Now you can pull that shit there. You can't pull that in a hood, like in a community. In a community, you can't pull no shit like that because you'll be tackled and shot. Oh yeah, you flying over somebody's child, you freaking perv. All right, I'm loving this time frame today. It's real live. We smoothing right into it. So the final story, Fogo De Chao, this Buckhead Atlanta shooting. This shit is crazy as hell. I want to give you a little rundown and we're going to watch a little clip. But let me just tell you, this is definitely a situation of mental health, okay? I know we always say that, we throw that word around, but this is absolutely one of those moments where I say mental health was a huge factor at play here. We have a young man who was definitely facing some issues in his life, and his parents and his mother, his father were well aware. And Lord, God bless his mother's heart. She did the exact right things. This is the reason I'm playing this for my ladies and my moms and my fathers and folks who got family. I'm playing this so you can hear exactly what she said on her 911 call to police about her son, because it's the truth. It's what she needed to say in that moment. So she called her son this day, on the day in question, and her son wasn't in his right state of mind, wasn't feeling well, and so she knew that. So then she said to her husband, let's go over there. By the time they got there, he wasn't there because he had left to go to his former job, being Fogo De Chao. So he shows up at Fogo De Chao, and apparently he's unruly. He goes to the bar in the back. He's making all these, saying stuff. He's being unruly, very loud and stuff. So the restaurant calls the police. The police come, they're trying to get him out, escort him out. So how if you ever been in a club or a restaurant or something, how they escort people out, right? All right, you got to go. They don't really push you, but they walk behind you. As you keep walking, they just walking behind you. So it's one of those things. They're walking to the door. And so I guess he gets even more unruly as he gets closer to the door. And so now at this point, the Fogo De Chao security officer, this black man, goes to tackle him. So they tackle the son, the guy, the one man tackles him, and the son, the black man, Nigel is his name. Nigel pulls out his gun and shoots the security officer at Fogo De Chao. At this point, that is where the police then fire off and kill Nigel. And this is why this is a sad story, because when you watch this clip, you'll understand why the mother made it very fucking clear that the police must know exactly who and what they are dealing with before they get on this scene. Because I'm telling you, my son has issues. So you cannot approach him the same way you approach everybody. I'm letting you know that. Let me not go on my tangent. Let me just show y'all the video. But it really touched me in a way because, I have family. I've seen stories. We sit here and we talk about this stuff. But until you really see a parent understand and try to offer as much as she can, you really don't understand. So I'm going to share this with you all. And I don't care if they not flag me, but copyright it, because I love this. I like this clip out of all the ones that they did. So let's get into this. Let me make sure it's loaded up. See that Wi-Fi moving different. It's moving different. So that's the mother and that's her son, Nigel. Just to give more context, Nigel is a 22-year-old male. So let me play.
Every day just have my kid. I have families, church, I have everybody. So when it came to my own, I knew to call to make sure inpatient treatment was available.
A career built on helping others meant that Maya Speller was always ready to help her own son as he battled mental health issues through the years. But now she is watching her worst nightmare come to life. Her son's name, Nigel Collins, 22 years of age, shot and killed by Atlanta police inside Fogo De Chao restaurant in Buckhead off of Piedmont Road. Officers say before the shooting, he shot a security guard who tackled him. Collins' family says he was suffering a mental health crisis, and they had just called 911 a few hours earlier, trying to get him some help. And as Don White reports, they feel his life could have been spared if that help had arrived sooner.
I need the EMS to come and get him. I don't need police. And I want to make sure if they do come, that they're trained. I'm a doctor. My son is inside. He is in a manic phase. He doesn't have any weapons. He's not a threat. But he is hallucinating.
My Speller told us this afternoon she made that 911 call from her son, Nigel Collins' Midtown apartment around 5 yesterday evening. She says the 22-year-old was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and she was calling 911 to have EMTs take him to a facility.
The pain that I feel is a pain that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I don't even have no enemies, but I would wish it on them. It's a pain that I can't even explain.
But she says help didn't arrive for about 3 hours, and by then her son had already gone to Fogo De Chao, where he ended up dying.
He had a good heart. He had good friends. He had his shirt off his back. He didn't deserve it.
A worker in the restaurant called 911 saying Collins had a gun and was acting erratically, making people nervous.
He pushed the bartender out of the way, and like I said, he's got a gun on his belt.
But did he point the gun at you? That's what I'm saying. Did he threaten you with a gun?
He did not point the gun, but he's He's yelling at everybody.
Atlanta police say when they responded, they found Nigel Collins in the bar, but he resisted. An officer tried to tase him, but it didn't work. Then police say Collins pulled out a gun and started firing it inside the restaurant. A restaurant security guard was shot, and officers fired back at Collins, killing him. It's unclear if police realized Collins was suffering a mental health crisis and made the connection to the 911 call his family had made hours earlier in Midtown.
We took the family's concerns directly to Atlanta police. They would not comment because of the ongoing investigation into what happened, but they shared APD's policy outlining how to deal with people having a mental health crisis, including in part approaching the victim in a calm manner, contacting a mental health center if the victim is agitated, and treating adults as adults, not children. Here's law enforcement analyst Dr. Cedric Alexander, his perspective. He told us he believes the officers were within their right to use deadly force because of the public safety risk.
This person, the subject, the deceased, pulled a weapon, shot a security guard, and therefore the police officers acting within the purview of their responsibility saw others and themselves in imminent danger.
Baby. And that, my friends, is definitely, first of all, rest in peace to Nigel and the security guard. Rest in peace to both you all. And also, my condolences, my heart goes out to the mother who did not expect this at all. As you can clearly see, she knew the steps. She said all of the key words. He's in a manic state. That's a trigger word. When you tell the operator dispatcher, they should relay that message to the police officers. And they should understand that we're approaching a situation that this individual is not in the right state of mind, whether it's drugs or anything. We know that we're going to be saying things and giving them instructions. We're going to be providing, we need to monitor the kind of force we're providing them, because are they being responsive to that or are they not being responsive? We maybe need to isolate them, get everyone else out the restaurant, ask the security guard to get out the restaurant as a part of that. You know, we don't need you to help us. We don't need you to assist us because we have more information about what's going on with this person and their state of mind than you do. All of those factors goes into approaching and how you handle it. Let me tell y'all incident at my job, my current job. We have a situation, our kitchen, the kitchen is staffed by mental health employees, some, individuals who got issues going on, like they're struggling on a lot of different levels, and it may be autistic or it may be an intellectual issue. They may, they have, issues, and some of them are, you can tell they're physical, they're verbal, and some of them are not. So there's this one black young male, he has to be in his 20s, and, he has these moments where he just spazzes, and most people don't know that the kitchen is staffed like this. I found out when he had a spaz moment on me, and I went to go to his manager because I wanted to get him gone because he completely tried to spaz in front of all of these people on me. But I didn't understand. Then when I understood, the woman telling me that, I understand. I apologize, sir. Do you really want to go forward with this complaint? These are, and when she told me all that, I said, are you serious? I said, why don't you tell folks this? Why don't you all put up a sign that says this kitchen supports X, Y, and Z? You don't have to be it, but a nice subliminal, because a lot of us, see, I'm going to be honest with you. We see this young black male doesn't say hi or anything. Just, no, we don't have it. No, you can't do this. No, we don't do this. And then you're like, huh? You instantly get this impression that, So in this situation, I'm sitting here thinking, like, if those police officers would have approached that in a way that would have de-escalated not only this man, but the environment, calm it down. People are probably going crazy, hiding. All of that escalates the tension, makes him feel a certain kind of way. And to know that you still had a security guard, a public security guard, a private sector security guard at the door, thinking that y'all needed his help, lets me know that you all didn't have the situation as under control as you should have from the get-go. That's initially what I said. So you mean to tell me there wasn't a police officer at the gate? Normally when they say somebody got a gun, y'all send the fucking SWAT. Bitch, y'all sending 50, 60 officers. They said that about me. My neighbor said about me, bitch, they had the whole row. I'm like, a gun where, bitch? Y'all can check you ain't no gun in here. So to know that y'all were limited in staff to the point that someone felt like they needed to help tackle you know, that it wasn't the tone wasn't given. Okay, we need everyone to exit the back exit. We need everyone to go to the back, including you, sir. So I look at all of those as signs. In this instance, you always, you know, I always go back to parents and be like, what were the signs? But this mother did every fucking thing I couldn't imagine. She called her son. He was on the phone with her. He wasn't in his right mind talking to her. She called her husband and said, we gotta go. We gotta go get my baby. I don't know what's going on. By the time she got there, he had already been en route to Fogo De Chao. So she calls 911 like, listen, I'm letting you know he's he's a black man. He's going, I just want them to know how to approach him and be safe with him. I just need them to know because I already see how shit goes on. And then we get to here and then this happens. It's like, what the fuck do you want us to do? We tell you that we have someone experiencing this. You do nothing. Then you tell us that you have these fucking policies for officers on how to deal with mental health situations. And then we have situations like in Buffalo where you get a guy who's literally shot 10 people, killed 10 people, 10 folks. Now you all decide to peacefully dismantle this man. He not one motherfucking shot, not one threat. Y'all didn't feel not anything like that. But with this guy, for some reason, even having that little bit of information that he is in a manic state of mind, you didn't even feel enough to dismantle him the same way that was dismantled in Buffalo, the same way we saw that, the same approach we saw, the same care that was provided there. You know, yeah, given two different locations, but it's still the same type of tactics. You see it. And this is definitely clearly a mental health situation. That's why I read the story and I said, yeah, this is a mental health. This is definitely, and the mother did everything she could in her possible and in her power. It just makes me afraid for other folks who look at this and say, okay, I want to do the same thing. If my son is something going on with my child, what should I do? Yeah, you should. You absolutely should. If my son, you know, I call my son like, you okay? I don't fucking know, man. I hate everything, man. Fuck. I'm tonight it's going down. Whoa. And then you say you're on the way, you get there and your son's not there. Yeah, you should call. Hey, I'm letting y'all know my child, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, put that out there. That's called speaking safe into existence. That's called putting your heart on the line. Fuck, don't get law involved. No, at that point, because if they do get involved and they don't have this information, so now I definitely think she's in every power of her right to investigate this internally to see whether or not there was foul play, whether or not, how was this message conveyed to the police officers, and what did they do that was different from approaching a different situation, a situation where somebody wasn't identified as having a manic state. Like what are the differences? So that way we can be clear for the next go around, we can spot those differences because it, you know, and yeah, I read Twitter and I read a lot of the comments, and most people said that, you know, some of those things go out the window when a gun has been pulled and someone's been shot. Then it's all about protecting. I said, no, that goes out the window for me when you approach the fucking scene knowing someone has a gun. That's when you should be de-escalating. Don't be de-escalating after somebody pulls the trigger. Oh, now you want to de-escalate? De-escalation should have started as soon as you got there. We need everyone to get the fuck out. Bartender, people in the back, him, because now you're limiting the amount of people. You're limiting the risk. The security guard gone. He ain't shot. He can live to tell us the story, what went on. Now the man's gone. You know, the man's gone. Y'all had that opportunity, right? Y'all didn't take it. Buffalo, they didn't even have that opportunity, but they did take the opportunity to de-escalate after the shit was done. So it just bothers me that I see the shit and I see us trying to do right. I see us trying to protect our black man. I see us trying to alert authorities and let them know that, you know, it's the situation on our hand. But at the same time, it's like, what more, you know, what more can we do? Do we need to explicitly write, you know, what the fuck, you know? So that this story really, really bothered me. And it bothered me because that mother, you know, you really be trying to do the right thing sometimes, and then it just becomes a nuisance. It becomes like, damn, why did I even, you know, at least they got the plates. And if the police do their jobs, they will find him. You be careful, Voodoo. But what happened? The dude was determined and he grabbed it and jumped in the car. They have his plates and the police came. Oh, the crazy. Hey, Montana, Tony, Montana. Good morning to you. Good morning. My child only has 1 week left too. I'm ready to voodoo. It's crazy out here. Thought that was Chris Rock for a minute. My God, my heart goes out to the mother. Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Very sad. The Buffalo shooter was talked down. Again, Black people are shot to kill as we are terrorists. The reactions aren't the same. That's why we scream Black. That's exactly what I was saying. These two incidents is clear proof that there is two total different approaches when you're dealing with race and guns. It's two total different approaches. One can be all the mental health in the world. A bitch can be high on drugs, on perks, and white, and you, it's cool. All right, we know you ain't gonna hurt us. But you can be educated, politically engaged, community involvement, all those great things, and you could, have a manic state of mind, be identified as having a mental health issue, and still not be treated the same. It's almost like, well, what the fuck do you want us to do? Police officers need better training in mental health. Yeah, it took them 3 hours to send help. Like, what the hell? So let me get this straight. Nobody but Nigel died, but in Buffalo, Lil Kenny killed 10 people, and he's waking up to eggs and bacon this morning. Total confusion, right? Yes, somebody Benz. Absolutely. Very sad. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The security guard probably made it worse. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. The security guard probably was, think about it. You come into your former employment, you no longer work there, but you go into your former employment and you're unruly, and then word gets out that you have a gun. What do you think the security guard is doing? Because it's a part of their job. They're probably running around and they're telling you, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. Then the manager tells the manager he's not leaving, he's not listening to me. So he's probably still on guard, like, I got to get this dude out of here. Then police come and they haven't de-escalated the situation properly. So you're still on guard, like you need to add to the situation. So now, do we have this guy in a mental health state of mind, but we also have him in a mental health state of mind, and you two have already gotten into it earlier before the police. So now the police arrive, and then you decide to take it upon yourself to tackle him in an effort to help the police. And they don't really realize to the extent how you all were engaging prior hand. So that probably could have aided to why he decided to pull the gun out and shoot you and shoot him. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And could he have been protected? Hell yeah. They should have immediately told them folks to go. You ain't even got to tell me, security or not. If that happens and police arrive, bitch, I'm out. I'm dropping boots. I'm taking my badge off. Bitch, I'm done. Girl, I'm off clock. What the fuck? You got me. I said I'm doing security, but bitch, I'm not for real security. I'm telling a few people to sit their ass down, but bitch, you got a gun. I ain't signed up for that shit. No, I'm out. I'm not playing with my life like that. I'm not playing with my life, and it's not a situation for me. That's a Fogo De Chao, and that situation. That manager called the police, did his job. At that point, when the police arrived, I'm in the car down the street. I'm not even trying to, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not even trying to, there's a point where you step out and help the community. You see kids playing in the street or, something going on, you want to report it. But it's a difference when you actually know that there's harm that can come towards you involving yourself. I ain't doing that. I'm not a real police officer. This is a $12 an hour security gig. Are you kidding me? At Fogo De Chao? Nah. We got the wrong. We both got the wrong. Good morning, Miss T Velocity, dropping out the clouds to give a little tip. Make sure you document that situation and word of advice you gave them. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Documentation is key with dates and timestamps, because it's nothing like to say, yeah, we did this, but to say on this date at this time, this person and this thing occurred is always critical. So yes, I agree. Absolutely. That's something my aunt always telling me to document. Your workplace was wrong for not being honest about the mentally unstable employees that could have gotten someone. Baby, it wasn't just me. And I'm telling you, we all go through it. Now, even to this day, because it's been in a pandemic, so we really haven't been in the office. But as we're going back, you can tell that people only go to certain. Now, both kitchens don't have the same kind of staff. The one kitchen is staffed with a lot of those folks with these issues. and it's the express kitchen where people can easily go in and out. So it's supposed to be that they move people quickly. And then the other one's a large kitchen. You know, you order big meals and shit like that. So, but most of us who are busy, we stop in and out of the express kitchen. So the other day I was in there, I walked past and I saw him in there. You know what I did? I kept moving because I know, am I willing to deal with this today? Because for me, like, I like a croissant toasted. He always tells me I can't toast your croissant. And I say, why not? We can't put them in the machines. So I go to the other kitchen. I said, the boy said he can't toast a croissant over there. I know. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. And it's just like, I'm glad I understand this, because the old me would have said, look, boy, I'm sick of this shit. But it's little things like that that helps you better understand. Then he has great days where he's nice. Hey, how you doing? You look nice today. Oh, what are you doing? We have a nice conversation. And then there's days where he's just a complete fucking ass, just a complete ass. Like, you know, I do Apple Pay. Then some days the machine will clearly say Apple Pay on there, right? He'll say it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, it just lit up for me to work. And so me being unruly, I'll tap it and it'll go through and he say, I said it didn't work, but it worked. Why, what's going on? But you know that there's other issues there. So, yeah, but they're not going to say nothing, because for them it's deep HIPAA, like it's medical, it's a healthcare system. So, you know, for them, it's not even, they're not going to say nothing. They can only handle white mental health, and they're in the other kitchen, and they're just as worse. They just nastier. Morning. I believe mental health needs to be taught. Taught starting at the primary level. I agree. And to destigmatize it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay, you know, it's okay, because when people begin to understand it, you know, they can better handle it and understand you. The HIPAA law, it can't discuss people's medical issues. That's probably why. That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's why they are not going to say anything. This Black mother publicly stated her child is mentally unstable, missing, and must be handled with care. She did exactly what she's supposed to, exactly what she was supposed to do. Why didn't he use the taser? So they did use the taser during this incident, and he fell to the ground at the bar, but he got himself back up and just started stumbling and walking. They didn't do anything else. Like, they thought that was going to be a way to subdue him. Again, not a great way to handle someone with mental health issues. Good morning, Jay Parrish. Good morning. I hope you too have a fantastic weekend. The other employees deserve the heads up that we are working with the organization that employs the mental unstable. I would have wanted the choice to deal with that. Yeah. And it was so bad because I was so vigilant and so adamant about him getting fired. I went over there like, first of all, let me just let you know. You know, I'll be having to tell them what office I work for. Like, I work for, and I'm just so appalled that I went over there. And let me just tell you, not only am I taking this up with you, but I'm going to see their contract. So she was first thinking about her contract. Do you really want to take this as far? I started feeling bad. Like, you know, I get it, but y'all need to do something better. Hey, the ghetto view. Good morning. We all know there's a different standard for law enforcement when it comes to people of color, period. What if your supervisor has a mental illness? You think he's going to tell you? No, not at all. But see, it's a difference though, because my supervisor having a mental illness shouldn't affect their ability to do their job. You see what I'm saying? And if it does, that's when either we should report that, or we should be at least told that there's a level of understanding. Because in this role, you don't go into something thinking that one day somebody's going to be one way and another way, unstable. I think that would make for a horrible way to be productive at work. You know, my manager is mad today and now she's okay. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? You know? So I know she wouldn't tell them or say anything to me, but we definitely had the conversation. Not about her mental illness, but, you know, hey, I just wanted to know if everything, you know. And so in this instance with this guy in the kitchen, I couldn't have that conversation. I didn't even know at the beginning that he was like that until she told me. Okay. No one with a mental health issue, King Roman knows described, could ever be a supervisor unless they're Wonder Bread and their family owned. That's what I was saying. I'm like, wow, I'm trying to see, like, baby, you be my supervisor. First of all, after I quit, then I'm gonna have to ask you a question like, you do know there's ways to deal with that. That's not true. It may not be diagnosed yet. And that's true. But I just think that it'll eventually have to bubble to the surface, because that's how conflict is sort of uncovered, you know, some of those inner conflict issues. Like it's all in the communication. You know, one day we're communicating in this style, the next day we're communicating in this style for no real reason. It's just all irrational. I think there's a lot of signs there that you can read between you and your, nonverbals, if that you can identify, because the flip is the same, right? So your supervisor is looking at you as the employee as the same, saying, judging like, I wonder if my, employee is going through some things, or if there's something, because he or she has changed in the way they're responding to me, their behavior. So I think that flip works as well. Like me looking at my supervisor, I'd be able to recognize like, the hell? And then I think a conversation built on clear communication occurs there. Like, hey, just wanted to see if everything's okay. I know yesterday I sent you an email regarding X, Y, Z, and you responded. I just wanted to make sure everything's okay. And that just conversation allows you, but you can't have that with folks that you don't know. You just off the bat, like, who the fuck are you talking to, bro? And that's exactly what I did. I said, who are you talking to? And I walked my ass right over to the other kitchen and was like, I don't know what's going on, but I need all of his information. Hey, Shantae, you better than me. I don't play with the haunted or mad, because you don't know what will the day that triggers them flipped out. Just imagine when you don't know that they don't have the triggers. Hey, girl. Hey, my Wonder Bread voice. AJ Boss. I don't do supervisors. Yeah. They don't do me either. None of them can manage me. I have like 1, 2, 3, and they all just be like, Friday was a shit show. So that was basically all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you all for showing up and showing love and support. We talked about domestic terrorism bill, rap music on trial, Brittany Griner update on her. We talked about Wendy Williams and her alleged victory. Rihanna had her baby. It's a boy. Blac Chyna is now in this boxing match with her week push. Quavo and Offset allegedly. Migos is broke up. We talked about Lil Wayne and Mark Cuban and what led to Lil Wayne saying that he was going to piss in his fucking mouth. Doja Cat and her nicotine addiction. YFN Lucci and his appeal due to Young Thug murders and shootings in excess of 50. We talked about Lil Keed and his, what led up the days before his death. And we talked about Rajan Rondo, this crazy man, his pulling out a gun on his girlfriend. We talked about the teen who shot his father over a bedtime disagreement, fleeing to another state to be with his mom. We talked about the mom who's charged after her son brought a gun to class and it discharged and grazed another student. And we ended on the Fogo De Chao story of this young man facing mental health issues and reported and being still shot and killed. So that's what I had on the menu today. I'm just gonna sit here and kick it with you all for the next 30 minutes. So I have no topic, but I did want to have some free time just to chill. That's the end. Don't leave us. No, I'm about to sit here. I was going to drop the link if anybody wanted to come up or if anybody wanted to talk. I'm going to drop the link and I'm going to put a banner up because I'm not going to do all of that. Share, invite, copy. Okay. Y'all feel free. No pressure. I might play some Kendrick Lamar and demonetize the whole video. But there's the link. If anybody wants to come up or want to chit chat, what you say? I have worked for some bipolar people in the past. I have too. I know I have. That's why I'm saying I know I have. I can name a whole bunch. I know I have. and I could tell as I grown as a professional adult how I've changed in responding to those kind of people. Because before, this lady named Diorce Foster I had to lay into her ass. That was the first lady I ever encountered with, like, bitch, what is wrong with you? But it was her own internal stuff. But we always went back to back, and then to this point now where I'm at, where it's just like I always prefer to be patient and gracious first before attacking. So I always be like, oh, okay. And I think about it, and then I go in for the kill. Because I can go from 0 to 10 and be irrational completely and fuck up my whole everything. So it's just best for me to go home, think about it, like, yeah, it's not worth it. And then half the time when it don't even be worth it, you be like, damn, I really got mad about that. Damn, wow. It don't be worth it. Like, that's all a part of growing up. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, are you kidding me? We're gonna get mad at that? No, not me. Now it is some shit to get mad at, but nah. Did you check out the story about the Wonder Bread mom suing her biracial son's school over critical race theory? No, I'm gonna add that. What city, what state? Please tell me what state is this? Critical race theory. Yes, baby. So yesterday, copy. Yeah. Oh, who is this? No photos, please. Oh, hey DKL. Oh, it's so cute. Charlie Theodore. It's so funny because yesterday, and I saw it this morning. Oh, hey, I got somebody. First, let me hold up, because I don't know. I know it. I know how it goes out here. Hold on, let me see. Okay, Miss Toby.
Hey, King Roman.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
good
you.
Morning.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm fine, and you? Hey, chat. Good morning.
I'm good. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I'm good. Thank you for coming up. How you doing?
I'm fine. I was the last story that you said about the young man that really touched me.
Yeah. It's sad, and it's almost like, what do you do? Like, she did everything she was supposed to do. She did. She literally did. That mom called.
And
you okay?
It's just so sad. Huh?
I was saying, no, I know I lost.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
Because I feel like I keep going in and out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if it's a delay on your end. You want to come back out, go back out, come back in?
Yeah, I'm going to go back out and come back in.
Okay. What'd you say? I'm off work today. Why? Because I don't want to slap a bitch. Self-governing. You sound like me in next week. All off. And then somebody's like, oh, can we meet a very important person? Can we meet on Monday? And I'm like, you would say, can we meet on Monday? I'm not going to be here. So I say, I can, but I'll do a Zoom. So I'm all off next week. Baby, when I tell you I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. Well, if anyone come to me regarding a change, it ain't mental illness. I'm 4 days into switching to raw vegan. Wow. I commend anyone who just does that, just switch their diet like that. One of my friends is doing that. Like, I just can't. Oh my God, that was VA with the mom. The critical race theory. Okay, hold on. Hey, Miss Toby.
Hey, I'm back. Can you hear me now? Oh yeah. Yeah. It sounds a little bit better. Yeah, but yeah, that's sad because I don't know it's a lot dealing with people with mental health issues.
I mean, hold on, let me make sure. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, T. Trisha.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well.
Hi, Trisha.
Obi, how you doing?
Fine.
Hello,
Thank
everyone in the chat.
Here.
I don't know. You were talking about mental illness, and that's something that's personal to me. So
how do you feel? Do you feel like the mother did everything she could have done to save her son?
I didn't mean to speak over Miss Toby, but she was here first.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think the mother did what was available to her to do. The reason I'm chiming in because I have a brother that suffers from mental illness, and the scenarios that this could potentially happen to him. My mother died in 2017, but before she passed away, he went into a manic episode, and it lasted for the last 5.5 years. He's just now getting himself back together. The things that have happened to him, he's been assaulted. Because, like when he's in his rage, he just picks and picks and picks at people. And then he did things that were totally out of character, like beginning to touch people and things like that. They've been locking him up.
Wow.
And now his freedom, I mean, he made it through his last trial, which was like last month, but he can't go anywhere. He can't leave the state of Maryland. So when I hear stories like this, I become very, very fearful because, as the illness progresses, he's been going through this for the last 41 years. And it's like his treatment from police officers and others is becoming more and more harsh.
Yeah.
So this stuff bothers me. And I truly enjoy your show. I didn't mean to dump all my private issues on you, but you brought it up. So
yeah, no, and I'm glad you shared that with us because that's exactly how I felt. And just to be frank, like I have little like nephews who, of course, the school districts have deemed them as ADHD, and them growing up and watching them go through life, and I'm just sitting here looking at some of the stuff, and I'm like, that could be like any of our little precious ones. And what do you do? Like, how do you protect them? How do you call? What do you say? She did everything. She said all the key words, and they still showed up to the scene acting as if it was a regular person just shooting a gun with a gun. I try to walk myself through it. Like, what difference could the bar owner have done? But even if they didn't know he was struggling from a mental health issue, they couldn't have done much.
They don't care because they don't hear the issue. They don't see the issue. All they see is color. That's it.
That's true. No, you're right. I mean, that's true.
Unfortunately, that kind of stuff, it just scares me.
Well, I'm sorry to is you said it was your brother?
It's my brother. He's 2 years older than me. And we've been dealing with this. I graduated high school in 1981. He had his first episode in July of 81. And it's been, like the longest break he's had from his illness was 5 years. And the longest episode has been this past 5.5 years. I just pray he can get a reprieve because he's a very nice person, but you wouldn't know that if he's in a manic state. So.
Yeah. Miss Toby.
I was going to tell you, you can read the back chat, you and Miss T. Trisha.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And with that, did you see is it mostly focused on Blacks and African Americans?
Well, let me tell you the area that I was working in. My area for the first 15 years was the area where Freddie Gray died at.
Oh.
So yeah, I had a lot of people that had dual diagnosis issues. They had drug issues and mental health issues.
Oh wow! So and that's another thing. Is it a drug substance abuse issue or is it a mental health issue, or are they one and the same, or can they be separated out?
A lot of times they were one and the same, and sometimes people with mental health issues, they were using drugs to cope with the mental health.
That's what I was wondering. Did one lead to the other? You know, did it start from having a mental health issue, not understanding that
No,
diagnosis?
usually it was the mental health issues, and then they start, dealing with the drugs.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy to me, because mental health is something, I guess, you start at your earlier age in life dealing with.
I mean, it's a pattern because he started hanging out with crackheads.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
his associates used to come and steal things from my mother. And I mean, she would just like love them. She was like the neighborhood mom, grandmom, stuff like that. And they used to take advantage, and now they take advantage of him. So it's just, I don't know. I just want my brother well.
And is there like custody? He can be his own, he can live on his own, or does he have to, is there some sort of?
Not really, because of his last thorough physical, they said he had like early onset. They saw signs of dementia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus the medicines that they use to treat his illness has damaged his kidneys. I mean, it's a lot. It's just a lot. I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff.
No, thank you for sharing. And I mean, it provides us some insight into this story. When I first saw the story and kept reading how the biggest topic of this is a Fogo De Chao, black man kills a security guard, I'm like, well, that's just not really the story. Here, the story really should be about how black man with mental health issues identified was shot and killed at Fogo De Chao, because that was really, to me, he was a 22-year-old child, man. His mother was trying her hardest. And
9 times out of 10, they saw a black man. They didn't see.
Black man.
That's it. That's all they saw.
Because if it was a white counterpart, they would have tried to, in my opinion, try to alleviate the situation. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. Or definitely try to de-escalate the situation. And they definitely wouldn't have shot him. Even I don't think even after him shooting the security guard, they wouldn't have fired at him. They'd probably
they would have tried to talk him down, just like the young man years ago that went in the church and killed, a whole bunch of black church goers. And you saw how they treated him and took him to Burger King.
So this is good. So not to pivot, but I want to, since we're on mental health, can I ask you all a question? Do you think folks who have mental health issues, do you think YouTube is a good place for them to sort of be?
Absolutely not.
No.
Really?
No.
So what about
especially if they're manic?
So what about if people use this as a way for them to cope? They come here, they're able to talk with other people, they're able to engage in ways that they can't do in their normal lives due to their mental health issues.
It depends on what sector they're in. What sector are they in?
Again, in therapy sector.
You understand what I'm saying? I know it's probably places on YouTube that you could go to that have, like mental health awareness or support. But let me just say this. This ain't no abuse. Well, you ain't in the abuse sector. You're in the abuse sector half the time, King Roman. Some of these people that's in the abuse sector, their asses don't need to be in no damn abuse sector. It's a lot of people that got a lot of mental health issues in this sector, okay?
Yes, and they're heightened or they're magnified when they're like in the beef sector. You can see it and hear it, just by some of the things that they don't say. It's not necessarily times the things that they saying. It's just watching them be guarded about certain things of themselves that, you quickly identify like, wow, that's an issue. But it exposes themselves, I always thought that it's an opportunity for people to engage because they couldn't engage in their real lives, but it doesn't seem healthy. It doesn't seem like it makes you, like, outside of this, become a healthier person.
But they show up with this heightened sense of importance.
That's what it is.
I belong to this. I belong to that. I make this much money. Who cares?
That's what it is.
And I mean, those are the ones that I side eye. I'd rather think I was broke down, back, tired, and busted and disgusted. That's what I'd rather make people think.
I mean, they're gonna honestly, and if we're gonna be frank, if we're talking about the beef sector, they're gonna think it anyways. There's nothing you're gonna say about how great you are or what great things you have. Is everything's gonna be disputed. So it's almost like it's your best off just being your own genuine self.
Yeah.
Mental health issues or not, because some people accept them, and I always go to, because I my heart has definitely grown fonder for him over this period of time. But I go to Big Man. And I stop into his channel. I was watching. He does a couple updates every once in a while, but it isn't as frequent. He's launching another channel, but that's a prime example of someone who came to the sector funny with intention of engaging and being around a group of people that he may have never ever came across and getting attention that he may have never ever gotten like this before. And then it just goes, all hell breaks loose when you engage in it that kind of way. And then afterwards, we saw him go through, dealing with a lot of the backlash and how it made him feel. And, even if you read between the lines, like, wow. And so that's just a microscopic view. Then I look at other folks on a different level, like you can physically tell some people are dealing with stuff, but they steadily put themselves on the line to be sort of made fun of. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for us to say for people out in the real world who struggle from mental health issues, for them to go get help and not engage in these things. But when we have this microscopic view here in the beef sector, that's just not the way it works. It's not like that. These people who may be struggling with things or issues, just the same way as people out in the real world get drugs to help them cope with it, people come to YouTube, whether it's good or bad, to cope with it. And it sometimes it gets worse,
Well, you know what? Honestly, I feel like this. If you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. And you shouldn't be calling the police. You shouldn't be calling CPS. You shouldn't be trying to affect real people's lives.
I agree.
If you can't take an answer, like a response to something that you said, then you should be quiet like I am, or just try to sing like I do.
I agree.
I was on a panel yesterday and I realized, okay, I don't think I'll ever go live because I have a temper. I told you my brother suffers from mental illness. We all have something. He just has to take medicine for his. I haven't reached that point yet. But I don't like rude people. Like, I will sit and listen to you all day, but when it's my turn to speak and you interrupt me, that rubs me the wrong way. And you'll see another side of me. Well, that's not the image I wanted to bring here. So I just shut up. But I enjoy your show. I enjoyed this topic. And you're so soothing to me. I get a lot of work done in the morning listening to you and laughing.
Thank you. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, I love him. I love King Roman. And I also love HB, Miss Trisha.
Yes.
And I enjoy you, Miss Toby, because I told you, you look and sound exactly like my niece Poogie. And whenever you hit a panel, I am cracking up. I might not always type in the chat, but I'm in here in tears because you act just like her.
Wow. Oh, I would love to meet her. Oh, I would love to meet her.
So it's just like you don't know who's watching your life. I mean, you might be just sitting here on a Friday, King Roman. There may be some producer of a show that's looking at you and your interactions with your chat. You just never know. Always be prepared. You just don't know. Now, it ain't me, because I'm just a nobody.
You're right. That's so true. Just even like the subscribers, like it's crazy because it's just amazing because like I get messages in my DM about connecting stories. Like that story resonated with me. And I would hear other content creators say that, but it really hit home when I see that, when I get the messages, because it's like I built certain subscribers that I just look at in the chat, and it's like a whole story behind it. Like, what up? Because there's a connection, and I enjoy that. That's really like, that's award winning. I'm a new CC, so I don't know what I don't know, but I definitely know that makes me feel good because it makes you feel less alone about things that you've gone through. And I'll be honest with you, like I really do enjoy this space because I don't know, when I first started out, I had a conversation with the subscribers like, you know, I really want to talk about why I feel like there's this big wall between Black women and Black gay men. Like I feel like, yes, I felt like when I came into my YouTube space, I felt like it was this whole, you know, they want to be us and eliminate us, and you know, and they don't like us because we want their men kind of attitude. And then it could have been, you know, what I was dealing with at the time, but I always felt like that, like there's just always this little, not all, like always a little bit of like competition when there shouldn't be competition, you know, because there'll never be competition between a man and a woman. But I did feel like that. But then coming out here and engaging with some of you all, I don't feel like that. I feel like there's
I think that must have been the space that you were in.
Yeah.
Because no, I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like that.
Yeah, I oh my God, I did. I definitely was coming off of a moment in my life where, you know, I was dealing with my family. I was dealing with friends after having, you know, shared who I was and having watched most of the straight female friends in my life dwindle away. And so I always came and approached things like, you know,
wait a minute. Your straight female friends left you when you came out?
Absolutely, baby. It was
okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think some of them left you because in the back of their mind they thought it was a chance that y'all might have a relationship?
We had been friends for years, though, like for years. So it was weird to me that she didn't kind of catch the hint in college.
Did she ever? Okay, you talking about one particular person. Did she have feelings for you, like a boyfriend girlfriend relationship?
I mean, it
she
couldn't
did.
have been because we did things that were like real brother and sister. Like it was definitely
that
weird.
was from your point of view, but from her point of view, you just never know. Did you ask
I never
her?
know. And then also I know because then afterwards it was like I told somebody else who then told a mutual friend of ours who then told her, and she came to my place and was like, I can't believe you ain't tell me what you think. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna be up, you know, went off on me. And then she told my girlfriend, and my girlfriend went to Facebook, and that's when Facebook was popular and aired me out. And so then that's how I ended up coming out on college campus. And then so the whole college kind of sort of knew. I didn't give a fuck at that point because, you know, I was doing my thing. I wasn't even living on campus. And so from that, I ended up.
Oh my God, she went and told your girlfriend.
Yes, she went and told her out of some spite, being mad, out of some bullshit. And
what? That you didn't tell her?
Just
maybe
so
at
you
that
know,
particular time you weren't comfortable enough to tell her.
Yeah, and you know, by that time I had been in Chicago for 4 years, and you know, for the first 2 parts of it, I had been playing like I was, you know, into one thing, and then you know, you start living life away from family, you grow into yourself. I eventually started. It was 4 years. And she had been with me since I had pledged my fraternity, and she pledged, and so we were both, you know, considered, you know, campus couples and shit. So it was hard to break that mold. So. And it was bittersweet that it was broken that way. It needed to be broken, but she told her, she went on Facebook. But what happened was it not only affected all of my straight folks, my frat brothers, everybody saw that post. Everybody sort of disbanded from me. So I always felt like, you know, and then when I hear Black women saying all these secret down low, you know, Black men, and I just be thinking like, you don't even understand. It's difficult because sometimes when you say it like that, you make it difficult. You put this connotation on a Black man being gay that when it's time for them to come out, they're already hated. And so that's why I said I came to this space.
Yeah, I don't like that either because I look at it as this. It's difficult for you. I can't imagine all your life you can't be who you really want to be.
Right.
Or who you want to be with.
That's what it be.
You know,
but then on the flip side, I didn't mean to cut you off, Miss Toby, but
no, go ahead. Go
ahead. On the flip side, if you're my friend and we talk about everything else, we should be able to talk about that.
I just didn't feel comfortable.
He wasn't ready yet, Miss Trisha. He wasn't ready.
At all. And I hadn't told my mom. I didn't tell anybody or anything like that. So then it just forced everything. After that, then I went home that summer. I ended up telling my mom first, calling my mom and on the phone and saying, right? I literally was like, you do know, right? And she's like, no, what? I said, you do know that I like men. And, after her having her speech and then crying and all that good stuff, she kept making this reference. And, because growing up, I guess all my cousins and uncles and family used to say, he gay, right? He gay. And she
That's why I was going to ask you that. I was going to actually ask you that because when I was in my teenage years, I had a best guy friend and we knew he was gay. I mean, I knew he was gay. My mama knew he was gay. And so the first person that he came out to was me, my mom and I. We was in the living room and he was like, I have something because he was so scared to tell his mother. And he was like, I have something to tell you, Toby, and my mom name is Renee, Mama Renee. And we was like, what? He was like, I'm gay. And we was like, boy, we already knew that. We don't care. I knew that. This was my boy. This was my boy. We did everything together. We hung out together. We used to go to the Inner Harbor together when the Inner Harbor was popping back in the day when I was a teenager. We did everything. We dressed alike. So I knew he was gay. I knew he wasn't my man. And when he told us, he was so scared to tell his mother. So I said, do you want us to go up there with you? So we went. Me and my mom went upstairs with him. Because he lived upstairs, I lived downstairs.
Oh, see, that shit was like, my mom, she definitely like tried to allude to the fact that I knew it was something. I wasn't married, I didn't have no kids, but everything else was good. And then I, shared with her, I said, but it was my aunt and my uncle that really like took me back because my aunt was in denial and my uncle started listing things that he just prayed to God that I wasn't a part of. I hope you ain't out there wearing panties and bras. I hope you ain't out there getting this. And my aunt was like, I hope this is just a phase you're going through. I just certainly hope this is your phase. And so I just started like decompartmentalizing being gay and then being with family and friends. And
I hate that. I hate when people say, I hope that's a phase you're going through. Don't nobody say, well, I hope that's a phase that you're going through that you're straight. Oh, that's a phase you're going to that you're straight. Go ahead.
Yeah, then I think my fast forward to my uncle passed away, so he never really got to see me in a relationship with a guy or anything like that. And so it leaves my aunt, and she definitely doesn't want to see it at all. She's not interested, nor does she want me to be married to a male. And so I've just decided to be okay with her way of thinking like that. I know she loves me. I know she cares about me, but she's from old school. She's, a holier than thou woman, sends me scriptures every morning. I get a scripture. And so I just decided tonight, not let that affect me.
So what happens if you do meet someone and you want to get married? They won't be a part of your aunt's life?
I mean, she will have to, eventually. I brought one guy home and it was immediately, where is he staying? It was all, she wasn't cold, but she wasn't like as warm and inviting, like, take it, it was very much so. So where he finna go? So I know that she is not supportive of it. And I think my mom, for the most part, I think my mom is. So I think if I do get married or something, I would have my mom to be there. But I just be trying not to think about those things because I think if I think about it, I put more weight on it than when it actually does come, when those days come. But I take it one step at a time. I'm gonna introduce my aunt to somebody. She done seen me on FaceTime, plenty of times with, a guy. I always say it's my friend because she don't want to hear that's my boyfriend. That will hurt her feelings, my poor aunt's heart.
Her feelings. What about your feelings?
I know, I know, and these are things that I've been trying to deal with, especially as I get older, and I'm becoming more about family, and how do I integrate my life, my real life, not just the person who, you know, is a professional, but how do I integrate my real life with my family in a way that it doesn't make them feel some kind of way, but you know, it's authentic. You know, who I always get this roadblock in dating. So how's it, you know, where's your mom? Or what's going on with your brothers? And then I go down that story, and it's like I don't want to introduce anybody to that kind of relationship. So that's why I said I'm at this point in my life where I'm just focusing on my family, just getting them tight, understanding that I'm going to be me regardless. That's why I don't live in the city of my family, because it doesn't feel like family. It only feels like family when I go to visit them. But when I live there long term all the time, eventually as a gay man, what happens is as a Black gay man is you eventually go by the wayside. They have kids, they have lifestyles, they have things that they're doing, and it may be cute, but you eventually.
I want you to focus on your family, but I want you to more so focus on yourself, King Roman, and your happiness.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
You know,
that's definitely true.
Yeah, because you deserve to be loved. You know what I'm saying? You know, love is love. I don't care. I mean, who cares? It's hard out
here.
here.
Your aunt, I know she probably loves you, but your aunt needs to come to the realization that when she stands before God, He's not going to ask her about you. He's not. I have a gay niece and a gay nephew. I'll protect them with my life, and they felt comfortable enough to let me know that that was their preference. Well, if I already love you, I'm not going to turn my back on you because you choose to love someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you know, the biggest thing for me is that I don't have a lot of family. So when it boils down to it, like I have my auntie, I have my cousin, and I have, you know, my mom and my brothers in Florida, but I don't have much family. So I really barely talk to them as it is. And so I have spent half that time not talking to them, working on myself, working on little relationships I have. But then the other side I've left dormant, you know, like I'm not reaching out, I'm not talking to them. But, you know, so I'm trying to, that's why I said I'm trying to integrate them and bring them back into the fold. But I don't want to distance themselves or push them away anymore that I've already done. Because I'm being honest with you, I really don't have much family. I don't have my uncle. I don't talk to much people in my family. They, you know, they watch my YouTube channel and they'll send me messages and stuff, but it's never. I don't have family like that.
Look, I'm gonna make you laugh. I have a huge family up and down the East Coast, all the way through to California, and I don't talk to half of them. And I'm as straight as you get. I just don't like be bothered. I don't like, just because I'm blood related doesn't mean that I have a relationship. I cherish the relationships that I form. So, and I like genuine people. Just be yourself. Do what makes you happy, or you're going to end up just being miserable. You can't please everybody. Even if you were a heterosexual male. You might bring a lady home that your family don't like, and they'll be on you about that.
That's so true. It's so true.
You know what? Just, you can love from a distance when you're in their presence. Just focus on them and the love that you have for them. All aspects of your life. No one needs to know all that. And just be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely something I work on often, you know, on my own journey. It's just trying to, you know.
I mean, because if you're busy pleasing people, that means you're not loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else?
Yeah. You know, I think the biggest thing for me is that having spent almost 5 or 6 years like literally away from my family, I sort of feel lost. And when I say lost, I feel like I'm just out here by myself. Not that I'm, you know, you can be alone and you can not be alone and feel lonely. And that's what it is. It's just like I have friends and I, you know, all of that good stuff, but the people who look like me, who have my blood, who are of my resemblance, who know my history, I don't have any of that around me. And my heart yearns for that. I want my connectivity back, but I don't want to sacrifice me. So I cautiously approach them. I only go so far because I know being authentically me may offend you. So I don't go visit them often anymore. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. But that yearning to want to be around my brothers and their kids and my mother and stuff like that is there. But I'm just at a place where it's just like I can't deal with the heavy shit on my heart anymore. So I just, I see I'm a 34-year-old man. I'm trying to get to that point.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get to that point. I definitely just don't want to ever, because I definitely went low with my mother and my brother. Like I definitely went there. So I can't admit like I'm innocent. I lash back and I lash back hard. And so
because you were hurt.
Definitely hurt and still is hurt. And I'm very much so hurt by my mother. Some of the things that she said during our spat last year, very hurt. No one has ever hurt me the way my mom has hurt me, some of the things she said. And that's why the pain is there. And that's why when, she reaches out to me and stuff, it's just like, I can't sweep that under the rug because that is still there. Same with my brother.
Did you tell her that though? Did you tell her that you hurt me?
Yes. I told her that. I definitely told her that. And some other things. And because I didn't get the response that I wanted or needed in the moment, I lashed out hard at them. And I basically presented it as, you all want war, so it's you all against me. And I built that whole I built a fortress up around me that didn't require any need for them at all. And it's been like that for years now. And so now when they reach out, it's always like, oh, hey, hey, hi, and I don't want to be like that. But I know if I open it up and let y'all in and y'all hurt my feelings, I'm not going to be how the old person. I'm going to go from 0 to 1,000. I'm going to hurt you because I have a lot of built up. I want to be, So that's the shit that when I see these stories and stuff, I be dealing with, and I be thinking about it, especially with mothers and love and sons and stuff. I'm always like, it's always interesting to hear how other people deal with their situations compared to yours.
I hope I say this right, but you teach people how to treat you. And if you keep accepting abuse from people, that's what they'll continue to give. If you let them know up front, the first moment that they talk slick to you, you set them straight right there. Don't hold on to that stuff because it can affect your health. And I'm speaking from experience. When you want to fit in with them, you want to be accepted by them.
That's it. That's it. That's all it is. And it's so weird you say that because my mother texted me yesterday and she said, I'm proud of you. And I said a long time ago, I said, I haven't heard my mom say she's proud of me in a long time, but, she doesn't have anything to be proud of because we don't talk like that. I don't share stuff with you. So for her to say that, I was like, oh, wow, what are you proud of? What is it that you might be proud of? But it felt amazing. It was like, oh my God, I had a moment.
People don't realize the importance of words. Once you put it out there,
the whole fucking moment, I broke all the way down because everybody say it to me all the time, work and shit, proud of you, get all this, but it's different when it comes from people who
exactly,
and maybe that's her way of trying to open back up to you too.
Yeah, I think it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she telling you that, just call your mama, just talk to her, just fill her out a little bit.
Yeah, I called her on Mother's Day.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, just call her, because it sounds like she could be a little bit stubborn. Is your mom stubborn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. 36 cousins in here right now. Create your tribe.
Because once your mother is gone, that is it. And I wouldn't want dumb stuff to have kept me from my mom. My mother didn't agree with me getting married at 19. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But I tried to make it work. And eventually, she came around because you keep beating somebody over the head with something. The more you talk against it, the more I'm going to cling to what you don't want me to have. when my mother stepped back and they left me alone and kept their mouth out of my situation, I eventually figured out that I didn't want to be married to that person. And then he gave me the best gift he could have ever gave me. He divorced me. And I've been moving up ever since. So it's just not worth separating. I pray that your mother will just allow you to be her son.
Yeah.
And just love on you as her
Mm-hmm.
son. All that other stuff that has nothing to do with her, like who you love, who you choose. The only time that would come into play is if who you love tried to hurt one of your family members. Look at it like that and just move forward from this day on. Don't hold on to that hurt. Be yourself. Love who you love, and just keep it pushing. Anybody that is not okay with that really doesn't really need to be a part of your life.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're right, though. That's when everything went down with Brian and his mother. It struck a nerve with me and my mom, and so I reached out to her, and it was so weird because she had reached out to me that day, and I hadn't responded to the message, and then all that went down, and it just was a reminder that this, your time here on Earth is very limited. So
that's it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I definitely, definitely love the words because we always think we know what we know, but it's always something else that you don't know. And other people looking on the outside in can tell you, so thank you. And I see the comments. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I definitely wasn't trying to make it sad or anything like that. Just honestly speaking on my own little shit in my own life. And I know I definitely will be cool. I definitely have a solid support system outside of my family. Isn't like family, but I definitely have a solid support system. One of my friend's mothers, she came in town and spent a whole weekend with me last year. And she's like, am I coming this weekend? I mean, this year. And it was so weird because she just wanted to come and make sure I was cool. And, it's not my mom, but it did feel good that someone thought enough, for that role. So I definitely have a support system and I rely on them heavily to help me, especially when I need to talk about stuff. Because I talk to people about it, but I don't talk to the people who need to be talked to about it.
Yeah.
That's all. Thank you, Britt Girl. I appreciate y'all. Because your mother is your first love, right?
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm her first son. I'm the oldest, and so, I mean, it's just a lot. But I do see I can get through it. And another thing, people send me stuff in the DMs about how they are going through similar situations with their families, and it just makes me feel a lot better about my situation because to know that I'm not 34 years old and alone. Still struggling with family stuff, so I appreciate you all. Good morning, Miss Philadelphia. Thank you for coming through.
Hey, Miss Philadelphia.
Oh, see.
All right.
I've done enough talking. I really enjoyed it this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
And you need to check your IG spam folder because I wrote you a long time ago.
And I have to because you're not. It's something because is that why they have like a primary, a general, and a spam inbox? Like how many? Because I have like 4 inboxes on Instagram that I have to check.
I don't know because I can barely use it, but I know I wrote to you a long time ago.
I'm gonna check it. Thank you again. I appreciate the support, not only just from today, but just in general. Always, I appreciate it. Authentic support, genuine support.
Have a blessed, stress-free, productive work day if you're working. That goes for you, Miss Toby, everybody in the chat. I gotta sign off because I gotta get back to work. But I love you. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
It was great talking to you.
All right, Niecy Poogie.
Okay.
Take care.
You
all
too.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, King Roman. I'm going to.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Toby. We gotta link up.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we definitely have to link up.
Okay.
I'm not too far from each other, and I got
a lot
of stories to tell you too from the stuff.
I'm right around the corner, so definitely. Okay, I'm gonna set it up.
Okay, then. All right. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my God. I felt like we went, woo. I'm so sorry. It felt good to just share and talk with y'all this morning. That felt really, really good. It felt like I was just a little bit more candid about things. So thank you all for just sticking with that. Believe me, your story is very common. The mother relationship between a mother and son is very unique. It is. I agree. Very, very unique. Do you have a therapist to talk to? And yeah, I do have a therapist to talk to. I haven't saw her since December of last year, and so we went from having very intense weekly sessions to bi-weekly to monthly to now I go see her every 3 months. So last time I saw her was in December, and I canceled my appointment in March. And I'm probably gonna cancel the next one just because I hate chronicling everything. She likes to go all. So I think every time I cancel it, I have to go all the way back and back. So what happened? But I did have a therapist. It was cool to talk to her. Life. Enjoy the show. Now I got to deal with the folk at work. Have a beautiful day. All right, you all. Yes, we all have to get to our job. So thank you all for being here. Damn, this was a really, really dope live this morning. Again, I appreciate the news crew. I appreciate the members, the mods, the subscribers, and then you catching the replay. Thank you so, so much. And drop down in the comments when you catch the replay and say, I checked the video, I watched the video, something. Let me know you here. And until next time, you all, until next time, which is Monday at 6:30 a.m. Deuces. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you.